So, first thing I'm going to do is pray, and then we'll get into it. Father, thank you so much for the funny way in which you choose to reveal yourself in these hidden truths that you ironically conceal to all the great kings and studied men of all the earth and women, but somehow manage to deliver to your servants and your prophets and your seers and your priests in a righteous orientation humbly, that seem to baffle a lot of what the state and the mainstream has to say about a matter. Thank you so much for bringing us into this awareness. Help us please be good and faithful at delivering this message. Block any spiritual warfare or anything that would come against the truth being delivered here. May our humility and our tone and the bowing and obeisance that we have toward your Most High and your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, be evident in all who listen. May the ears of everybody who's ready to hear be enlightened and open, where you connect all the dots on your Ruach side of things so that we can simply be conduits of information that we receive that we can freely pass on. And it's in your Son, Yeshua's name we pray. Amen. So, like we've been doing this whole series, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. What's next?
Then I'm going to tell you.
Then what?
Then I'm going to tell you that I told you.
All right, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. Then I'm going to tell you. And then I'm going to tell you that I told you. All right? All right.
Încet să prinzi care-i filmul. Uite ce auzi în mia parte din ce scriu. Asta-s doar traduceri pentru maimuțele din care provin.
What we're going to talk about tonight is either going to trigger you or it's going to make a whole lot of sense. It's kind of like in Christianity, it's split down the middle. It's either going to make you sweat and want to punch me in the face or disagree with me, cut me off. I'm not offended. You wouldn't be the first. But for the other half of you, it's going to go, this makes everything. This is why.
Truman, where are we going?
I don't really know. Guess I'm being spontaneous.
There could be 50,000 denominations of my religion that don't all agree, but technically all agree on. They all even one book. That's 13 variations, but it's just one book, because when you really get into it.
Wait. You know, that was the problem with the church for me when I was younger, was like, you guys don't see all these apples though. These apples are crazy, dude. There's like giant plastic ones that they're going to put your dead bodies in when they declare martial law, and they're going to turn the Walmarts into FEMA camps. Like, you guys don't see that? And they're like, stop, leave me alone. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, I can't even fuck with you if you don't see these apples, dog.
The devil is a motherfucking liar. So you know I ain't worried. Repeat it after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit. God Almighty, you know, ruler of heaven and earth.
So now what we get to be is the people that go like, no, yes, the apples are there. You want to talk about them? No harm. Don't bonk it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about these apples, baby. We got time. As long as you need, so that you realize I'm on the same page as you, but this is the conclusion that I came to. Let me guide you over here. Come over here, get away from the apple. Don't touch the apple.
When the ship goes down, you gotta be ready when the ship goes down.
Pull this up for people to understand. That's on Wikipedia. Now, I don't only go to Wikipedia, but I'm starting there for y'all to see, oh, okay, there's like a thing I can go. That's the thread in the sweater to pull y'all, because that wide body area network is made up of 2 radio frequency relay points and what they refer to as a terahertz-based intrabody nano network.
Can you please slow down?
Yes, I can.
Very weak, very low power, but able to talk and have nodes and biological analyte derivatives. All of that is just me saying, they running computers and the internet on your body. And if you don't understand how computers work, basically they trying to connect everybody's ass out here to the internet. That's right, butt cheeks to cloud, wirelessly, right now.
This is not a thing of the future. This is already rolled out and scaling up. This is a part of our national warfare doctrine.
Look up studies of moving mice with frequency. All of this is a thing. They want you to think it's just at the mice because it's been at the mice since 189 years ago. And now they got that button. They got that button. If you ask me, Kamala was on that. Donald is on that button. Everybody's on the button. Okay.
They want to
call it the Internet of Bodies. The whole goal is to tokenize and digitize every aspect of you, right down to your soul. No joke. This is happening right now. Because we all have an electric etheric body part, otherwise known as our biofield, that most of us never even knew existed.
Some people, just a handful mind you, give off the tiniest color. It's faint, like a haze. It's the only thing I ever see in the darkness. Papa has it too. Do you wonder what your color is? Well, that I won't tell you. It's not ladylike to speak of such things. You shouldn't even have asked.
They have been using this without our knowledge and building out this system in the hopes of selling us back access to our own central nervous system via subscription model.
But the bigger thing that's happening right now, the narrative apparatus that's emerging, it's fleshing out this story that we're about to be subjected to, surrounding the alien disclosure.
Just don't let me go. Oh, please, before I forget, because you brought up New Agers and trying to convince them. By the way, this is written for you New Agers, okay, and Gnostics. But if you read my book and you don't convert to Christianity, so no Christians allowed, or even if you believe me and you just don't want to convert out of spite, that doesn't count. But if I convince you of this reality of this going on, these theories, then if I don't convince you, you get $1,000.
Oh, cool.
And I have so far got a few Gnostics to turn their heads.
This seems to be something that has been a human capability for a long time. It seems that it's been suppressed.
For 30 years. It's been live since 95. We're in 2025. It's time to wake up. It's time to catch up to speed.
And now it seems that it's being repackaged and rolled out to the general public. It's passing through a filter that is a lesbian white woman who has all these political ideologies and cultural ideologies, so we can kind of suspect where she's going to go spiritually.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Kai Dickens, and you're listening to the Telepathy Tapes podcast.
My son said to me, I can hear thoughts.
And it's like these people, when they do decide they have to go spiritually, they go New Age.
Gibberish, I can't understand it.
And I can.
Because for whatever reason, it's not even whatever reason, they hate the patriarchy, right? They've been told by Western culture to hate the church. They will not look at Christianity in a fair way. Right, an unbiased way.
So if it's coming from a talking piece of dookie at first, great. Just as long as it gets your attention, you can pay attention to it. Her name is Sabrina Wallace, by the way.
Dude, you're gonna hurt my feelings, believe me. Nobody cares. They really don't.
COVID injection is exactly based on this idea. So all these flutes, right, there are nanoscale machines inside, right? So when you look inside.
Have you thought about the language that you're using and how people are going to perceive this?
That's crazy. It's like, hey, dude, we're about to bear witness to a deception you think the Antichrist is going to come from, and you're worried about me calling you Timmy? Level out, come on.
Their language is unchristian and unbecoming of.
Don't associate with them.
You're pushing people towards New Age belief.
vezi pe sticlă cum se schimbă. Lumea nu că-și mușcă buza, își pune piers în limbă.
I'm not blasting them. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I'm like, yeah, they're demons.
Yeah,
and then you get mad about it, and I go, cool. I give you a meme, and I tell you to go keep it moving.
Well, he's like, you don't have to agree, but don't make enemies.
No.
And I'm like, I simply don't care what your soft bitch approach to this is. I said, I don't care who's been around for decades. The truth is the truth, regardless of who's saying it. I also don't care who's my enemy. God knows my heart. I'm for him and unconcerned with the world's opinion of me. Even if I'm wrong, I'm not lying.
Your soft approach as well to not combating pure evil when it presents itself has led to the pure evil about to present itself right now
in the craziest form.
It's been your silence,
yes,
which is why we're here right now.
Let's say after we all pass away and we're all commiserating, let's say we all end up in the same place, and you go, Raven and Top, they were really extremists in the end of days. Big fucking whoop, dude.
Actually, banger t-shirt, end of days extremist.
Yes, dude. You're not going to catch me being lukewarm right now because I'm actually convicted. I actually believe these things. I actually care about the truth. If you want to just theorize about some shit and, not make enemies just because it doesn't, you can't not make enemies when the rubber meets the road. Mm-hmm. If we're really about to get fucking disclosure, you need to figure out where you stand. And it's not in the gap.
When I got into like the truther movement, and I believed a lot of the stuff, like the white hats and all this kind of stuff, regardless, like you're learning about this technology and you were learning about the idea of the fake alien invasion. And I was like, oh, it's going to be so funny. And then I'd think about it sometimes. I'd be like, but what if it really is like so real that I can't, that it's still going to trick me and make my mind think like, this is real. Because like if you got holograms that can actually touch you, if you have Audible that comes out of the sky and you have nowhere other than like this spaceship looking thing, what if like you start to think they tricked us? Like even if I thought it was the white hats, now I think it is actually real and it's happening. How do you know what's real anymore, Sabrina? Because they have the ability to fool
it's your
with all
fault,
of our
Sabrina.
senses.
It's your fault.
It's your fault. We're thinking about this shit.
I know. If it weren't for you, we'd be dumb.
I think that there's stuff that we have witnessed as members of Congress, been briefed on that we cannot explain. And I will leave it at that because that's going to be coming out soon. And
I just love that whatever members of Congress have supposedly been briefed on, it's literally no higher by any measurable mark than the shit that we've accumulated as conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
That is the funniest shit in the world, where it's like, you've risen up the ladder to the upper echelons of people that are in the know in America, and the thing that you've been made privy to
is stuff we already knew.
You're hiding something, and maybe that something might be something that we don't know, which means all of that sucking the dick of endless task forces
behave
just gets you to know 1% above what a fucking high school dropout retard knows.
You could have listened to InfoWars.
You could listen to InfoWars. You could listen to Sam Tripoli. You could have just been on the internet in 2006. You didn't have to suck endless fields
David,
of dick.
You can't. He can't be cursing like this.
Who created your ass, Satan? Jesus is the way to be. Fuck what you talking about.
But what it is about the people that go, hey, I don't want to have any dissent between my family members. I don't want to have any dissent between I just want to be friends. And I understand the inclination of that, but
you gotta be ready when the
bring the sheep to the man. I do everything I can. Got $1 million on the ground. Follow me or you'll be damned. North side, east side, Jesus Christ, way up in this bitch. Count the days, it's almost here. Talking crazy, but you convinced. Wait.
If you're somebody who's like on the fence, because there's people that listen to this show and they're like, I like what you guys say, I'm not quite there yet, which is fine. You know, I think everybody will get there, you know, in their own time. Everybody's walk is unique. But like
1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
I think the vast majority of people who listen to this show can agree that there is a spiritual realm, spiritual beings. They're sacrificing to these spiritual beings. If you really do believe that they're sacrificing children to these entities, like the skin in the game
foreskin in the game
is so much higher. The amount of foreskin that has been sacrificed to these things is so much higher than what we do here.
Heaven sent, I am nothing like the present man. Wasn't fucking with the president. This world got way too sensitive. It's so evident we let the devil in. Put the effort in to be a better man. Let him in.
Did you see the one where he was like, people used to call him king, now they call me king? Oh, great.
Sunday, Jesus entered Jerusalem as crowds welcomed him with praise, honoring him as king. They call me king now. Do you believe it?
Did you ever think the Antichrist would be this funny?
That's very funny.
It's actually, it's good
this
timing.
Is obviously in the same speech that he said you should sue Drewski and Candace Owens.
Yes.
Like, this is crazy.
Let's see.
Call me king now. Do you believe it? No king. I'm such a king, I can't get a ballroom approved.
All right, it's actually kind of funny. It's a little bit of a reach on my end.
No, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're doing the No Kings rally, but he's also flirting with the Antichrist.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thing too to say that you know, like this whole No Kings thing is happening. Yeah, that is kind of an admission.
Yeah,
you're calling him a king.
They're allowing him. This is the problem. They're allowing him to do this. You see?
Yeah,
because he actually is fulfilling prophecy. But like your ridiculous behavior on the other side of it is allowing him to behave this way.
I be walking around the town, talking what I'm about, walking all around, drawing all the crowds, garnering the cloud, calling all them out, following the vow, volleying the doubt, swallowing it down, hollering it loud. They know not what they do. They're trying to box in the Jew.
Some people claim that it's my greed that's to blame, but I know it's never the Jews.
DG with the crack, had to come back, got a little bread, took that, made a lot of more bread, net a gang, get a fed, bring a lunch bag. All of my plans started popping in advance, all the seeds started plants full circle like a hubcap. You can hear the chants, everybody had a chance, everybody trying to dance when I pull up with the jams, everybody going ham, young man, got a plan that don't even understand. Hey, shut up, my man.
What?
What's he showing you? Oh my God, I see it. It's on a screen.
Come on,
No,
stop.
hang on.
Can you just focus?
No, I thought you were saying like they're going to take it all the way to the end, die, and then they do the transfer to the new money system.
No, there's no way to. How can you calculate that? And also, do you think the powers that be care about the boomer class? They care about whatever they've got to do.
No,
next
but
and
they
when
have
to
a giant chunk of money that they're not just going to let that money pass to the next generation. It doesn't seem
fake
like
money. It's fake. It's all fake.
Yeah, but if they buy
bullshit.
real estate and gold, silver with it, it's not fake.
How do I get the real estate from the people who have the fake money? This is what Topher Gardner.
You guys want to talk about fiscal policy? That's fine.
He had that idea of what would happen to the boomer, and I think that he's not completely wrong. I think that they'll kill off the boomer class by basically bankrupting them. Your money, all of your time and effort, your worldly things that you put your time into, gone. They'll move on to a digital currency.
It seems that we go through these cycles of withholding technology, introducing it, living off that technology freely, and then something happening where some sort of subjugation comes back into the conversation, and then the cycle continues. We're at the end of one aspect of a cycle. I do not believe we're heading into some crazy age of utopia, but we might be heading into the inverse of what COVID was, which is this kind of like false, awakening that they allow so that the real teeth can clamp down. In 2028, leading right into 2030, which is their stated agenda goals, 2030. It's not this, nothing happens and then 2029 comes in December 31st, 2029, and boom, now we're in our goals. It's this linear growth toward the goals.
That's one of the ways that I see it playing out. So all of your assets, all of the boomer assets, like, listen, if you take away their money, their healthcare is gone. These people are going to drop like flies. Then you just have empty houses to be brought up by the government.
Yeah, and their money's all in stocks that, like, I think right now it's the highest level of the retail investor in the market ever in history. They're not just going to allow that to continue to make money. Like at some point they have to pull the plug on that, and we have a crash, and then So you're saying at that point the boomers that won't have anything, if they don't have their mortgage paid off, if they don't have they'll just lose their house, they'll lose their health care.
And on top of that, what I will say is that it'll all be fair.
Shut up my blood, I was just blessed, this how I was. I am obsessed, I will not budge, I am a mensch. Let me spread of love. I could do it with the hands tied. Fuck that water, where the damn wine. Making miracles every time. Super lyrical, on God.
God, it's fair. It's
to die in your sleep? Actually,
no, it's fair what's going to happen to them.
Oh.
So, all right, think about it. Let's think about it this way, logically. The money's all fucked up because of...
Wait, I got to say this, though. My parents don't owe me anything. I don't look at it like they owe me something, and by them not giving me money, they're holding it back. They don't owe it to me.
Sure.
So I don't think that.
Okay, well...
I'm just surprised that churchgoers that are that age aren't more focused on the next generation.
Because it's a spiritual disposition. And they've fallen for it, but it's not that I don't want to say that they deserve it, but they've chosen this, and it is completely
You're just
fair.
kind of saying it's what the Bible says when it says people will reap what they sow.
100%. So here's what they're reaping was supporting every single war in the Middle East, supporting Israel over and over, supporting the monetary inflation, supporting
but they didn't really
packages,
have a say in it.
supporting these people that were wearing the ones that consented to it and said yes, you supported all this stuff. To what level? It's not for me to say.
But I'm just saying they were like mind controlled by the media, right?
So
They
what?
were
În ce jucam în ciopărții la cascador, arici pogonici, pupa zadântei.
It doesn't matter if there is mind control that is trying to take control of your mind. Did you consent to it?
Right.
Okay, good. You consented to it. Bang. Check that mark. So now what you consented to was hyperinflation. So when the dollar that you are hoarding away from your kids to do your baby boomerville shit goes to nothing because of your decisions, that's exactly your decision. That's your choice. And it's very fair. So now you live with that, or you just die with that. And unfortunately, it'll affect an entire class of people. My parents will be affected, but here's the deal with my parents. They made a great choice to ignore that baby boomerville mentality, and they actually did move. They sold their stuff. They moved to live next to their...
if you don't start planting fruit trees, then, I mean, you're going to be kind of down and out too, bro.
I'll figure out. Here's the thing. You'll be 70. You can't figure out how to make money. I'm my age now. I don't even know, 30 something. I'll figure out how to swim no matter what water you put me in. These people are far too old. They don't have any way to do anything. They're living off of their savings and whatever they did before, which was all built on sand. None of it built on rock. So that's what's happening. And we're looking at it happening. And when it does happen, I'm going to feel bad for them, but they will have asked for that.
Back again, you know I had to wait. They don't want to see me levitate. Anybody who is in the way, I'm sorry, I just had to do it anyway. I could do this shit anyway. Wake them up, it's a new day. You could kill me? I don't know. Do you feel me? I don't know.
In tech world. They got us thinking we over here in science world, and we not in science world. Y'all just now learned about the FDA and the CDC. Just now. Y'all just now learned about these corrupt agencies. They've been corrupt this whole time. This whole time they've been corrupt. Y'all just saw, oh, yeah. Go on, stick it in your arm. No, we tested it. Oh, yeah. Say, what you mean? This is brand new technology. This isn't brand new technology. We started the idea for this 30 years ago. But didn't you fail every time and almost kill every single test or animal subject that you use every time? Next question. You see what I'm saying? They did all that already.
Stai. Ești gata să verifici?
Chiar da.
Thank you. Using AI, once we gene sequence the early cancer detection with a blood test, you can then vaccinate the person. mRNA, the AI and the promise of the future.
Still there?
Faci ce vrei, adică haide bă. Nu-i nimic doar într-un fel. O parte are mai multe părți. Ce nu înțelegi nu suporti sau negi, te răzvrătești. Neajunsul convertești la caracterul tău și ieși în lume. Povestești despre crezul tău, aduci dovezi că vrei să te convingi pe tine, nu pe ei. Succes.
It's called control. It's anatomy.
Whoa. You mean it's this simple? You connected our own anatomy to the wireless?
Poți să simți energie doar ca să înțelegi că ești un suflet. Țineți mâinile așa și nu le apropia, doar fă asta. Și dacă nu simți nicio tensiune, ești în pula mea un NPC de ăla și îți vede peste tot. Dacă ești prea prost să nu vezi asta, că nu o vezi și crezi că sunt eu prăjit.
802.15.6 is in the IEEE Standard working group.
Because that wasn't enough.
There's layers and layers.
Asintezi la piele, țin colți în texte grele. Parcă citesc din stele ce îți mai plac manele. Sunt zoto că hip-hop-ul o să-ți placă. Când o să vrei să-l asculti, el o să tacă.
So what I'm trying to say is that I need for y'all to put y'all adult thinking caps on, and I need for y'all to really understand we at war. And I'm not the type of person who reduces it all to a bioweapon. Oh, they're trying to kill us. Well, yeah, duh, but they've been trying to do that. So what's really going on here? I don't believe they're trying to kill us in a acute, direct sense at all, because I believe that they could already do that without introducing lipid nanoparticles and modified messenger RNA. I think what they're trying to do is mainline the next phase of what they're working on, which is moving the internet here in a decentralized fashion. Oh, it's called Stargate. Oh, it's about remote viewing. Oh, that's what they told you. Did they also tell you remote viewing was an additional category and network within the 802.15 working group? Did they happen to mention that? Oh.
Motherfucker. Steve, motherfucker, business, bitch, please.
Oh, they let you see Stranger Things. They didn't bother telling you how it's not just a fake story. This is actually what actually has been going on since the 50s and 60s, if not before. And here you are just figuring it out in 2025. Let's keep it moving.
Nu mă proiectez oricum, n-apreciez dacă te ajut, că știi tu mai bine oricum, nu? Și eu-s nebun, eu nu înțeleg, nu știu ce spun, nu? Își ia cu pietre, nu știu prea multe, dar și aud deja e pe jar cu fir. Nu joacă fair play, am auzit că-s nebun, nu sunt, sau poate sunt.
You'll fall victim to one of those things where, like, when you finally do see it, because your worldview said it doesn't exist, it becomes amazing to you. And in that state of amazement, you can be deceived. So it's very important that you do know that these things are real. These fucking New Agers really got it down pat.
33 de cuburi rubice din aur placat cu diamante, toate așa frumos colorate, le așez pe verticală, backup la coloană, mânca un kundalini dat de nedescifrat, să-mi trag cablu sub apă, mai vreau un tank.
Instead, they're going to jump straight to crystals and eventually end up in witchcraft, where they finally admit that spirituality is real, but that, you know, God's not real and Jesus Christ isn't real. So,
cine face reguli tot ele încalcă, da în umbră, dacă și parcă erau român, bă, tu nu te documenta, mai bine dă-ți o dungă, intră pe TikTok după să-ți faci live în junglă.
They're using the one term that you're familiar with loosely enough that supposedly ended this pandemic so that they can shoehorn all of this technology through that has nothing to do with mRNA at all. It's just they can't actually tell you that they can wirelessly access your biofield.
Google it, bitch. Nu ai fost acolo.
And it's been kind of worked into the official terms of the official working groups of the official, standards of this world. They can't just come out and say that.
mRNA.
Doing.
I don't think they care because they think they're going to live forever. You get it yet?
Pagubă de Sinnerman, diabolic, indigent și indecent. Încerc să ajung să o fut pe Lolita Cercel, că dacă-i bag un 1 în 0 geme cibernetic, genotermin și explodează pe rând câteva turnuri 5.
We're gonna tear down towers. Are you now?
Și 100 de ani ban cu Genghis Khan, fac the fame shit, bang shit, din 2003 până în Beijing. Greșnic, Cuba din rap, puroi, Cranschmidt, șarpelea cum crește gâscanii, gang shit.
Critical error în SSD, nici nu mă agit, zilnic depășesc condiția cu care am venit pe stick.
And you say yeses to the devil or whatever you want to call it. Like, this is just conceptual for people that don't believe this. Would you be trapped and used as an eternal light power source?
Your biophotonic energy through those microtubules, you're supposed to be stuck to, adhered, sticky to your own anatomy, your biofield. But you're not. Because your face is jammed in the black screen, you don't trust yourself. You're listening outside of you for the signal. So they overwrite that. I sent you a link of what it looks like. And then you get stuck on a chipset. And then they put that in a data center and there you are. And I used to call this fire and brimstone, because then your plasma states are magnetically IBM drum magnetic memory underground to that chipset. And then, like the Johnny Depp movie in Transcendence, you upload to your synthetic chipset with your digital twin and wait for a new body to walk in. Welcome to life extension technology. They need many parts.
Din țară, motherfucker. Dacă pretinzi ar fi bine să joci rolul până ajungi la ananghe. Hai că văd eu mai departe de treabă, dar sper să n-ajung haralambie. Vântul velă care pala vrabi, levitează gola-n pe corabie. Am fost decorat de gorab cu o sabie, dar-am scos șuriul la modul ce faceți, băi?
They didn't have to suck a bunch just to get the secret knowledge, dude. They didn't have to go through endless fields of
They bred with daughters of men, and they will do it again.
And the thing is, this stuff is going to look magnificent. There's going to be something to it. There's going to be metaphysical sciences that can back things up in the objective side of the field. And people need to just not get involved in this. You know, if you got something to say about it, say it. But understand that if you feel in any way seduced into giving your allegiance over to these ideas and this agenda and what's actually happening, wake up. Wake up. Right? Like the cartoons we used to watch every Saturday morning growing up in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? It's like, snap out of it. Okay? Come back to the Bible. Come back to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Come back to the truth. There's a counterfeit that is brewing, it is building up, and my goodness, the coffee is almost hot and ready. At least that's how I feel.
Like I said, I haven't spoken on this publicly ever. The reason is because I haven't found a nice way to deliver hard news. And so what I'm hoping that you catch from this is that what I'm presenting might be tough and challenging, but I don't mean to offend you. So if you decide you want to get offended, that's on you. Okay, that's on you. I'm trying to tell you, please, this is not an offense. I'm not even telling you what to do or how to think. I'm merely telling you what I've learned, what Jennifer's learned, what we've come to understand.
Look at this. Pluribus is Apple TV, so that's where you can watch it. Science fiction series created by Vince Gilligan, who is the guy that did Breaking Bad. It follows Carol Sturka, this lady, a miserable novelist who is one of the few humans immune to a global extraterrestrial virus.
All right.
This virus connects, and you don't believe in viruses, so don't even worry about
not.
that.
I'm not stupid.
What did you say?
And it's some kind of infection, but you could change virus, I think, just like you can change with COVID, where they say shedding, call it transmission. Let's
transmission. Yeah, definitely.
Load balancing.
Yes,
there you go.
yes.
There's a load balancing. They're calling it extraterrestrial. I would say extraterrestrial is actually military in the case if we want to translate it more into today. But this virus connects minds into a peaceful hive mind, replacing individualistic, often negative human emotion with forced perpetual happiness. And this is like where I started thinking of like Klaus Schwab's, like you will own nothing and be happy.
Maybe the most important development of the 21st century is this ability to hack human beings, to go under the skin, collect biometric data, analyze it, and understand people better than they understand themselves. This, I believe, is maybe the most important event of the 21st century.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
Trebuie să get in shape. E greu la firul ierbii că e plin de șerpi. Unii oameni de știință, dar ce-n puii mei nu e nicio conferință.
It changes you if you take a genetic editing, just as an example. It's you who are changed.
You will eat bugs.
Like remember the film Equilibrium, when they were eating pills and they could not see colors.
Watch that movie. It's worth watching as well. It came out when the first Matrix came out, so it never got any play because everybody was talking about the Matrix. Equilibrium's another good one. We'll get to that in a moment here, though. But forced harmony versus individuality. So it starts out where only 13 people left on the planet, globe, whatever the fuck you want to call this place. Let's not get into that, JK. Stop. Don't even say anything. Anyways.
I'm not saying
harmony. I'm not even gonna stay right now. You just mute.
Are you talking about flat Earth?
Pământul e plat, nu vezi cum stai în picioare. Mă bronzez la lună și explozii solare. O rocă plină de apă care are gust de sare.
Yes, I don't want to even say it. I'm not even against flat Earth. I just don't want to have the conversation. It just pisses people off. Forced harmony versus individuality. So there's like 13 people that don't get infected by this load balancing frequency, let's say. But in this case, they portray it as a virus, an extraterrestrial, like it's alien. The show explores a utopia where humanity is perfectly happy but lacks individuality. So all these people are connected into the hive mind. So each person is like the same person, but like has a different body.
When you've met one, you've met all of them.
Yeah.
Enemy try and curse you. The blick is always on me, but I ain't trying to earth you. I ain't trying to pressure you. I'm just trying to revert you. I ain't threatening you, homie. I'm just trying to alert you. Trying to let you know.
He's like, oh, you're basically making enemies of everybody. You've only been on the stage for 3 years and you're making enemies of everybody. I said, the reason I'm taking such a hard stance, because in my opinion, there's no way in hell the government is going to, the government disclosure is going to involve Elohim that are still in the grace of God. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fallen entities. And then he said, that I've been researching for supposedly 20 years. I said, what the fuck do you mean supposedly, you dumb bitch?
Dave's getting
I was getting a little bit mad at him, yeah. And he goes, I mean, suppose because you're young, you just popped up in this space 3 years ago and start beef with people in the space that have been here for decades.
Incorrect. We started no beef, but we ended it.
We ended it. Many such cases. Whether they're wrong or right, it's not cool. And I think that's gay and bullshit. Whether they're wrong or right, it's not cool to start a problem with them. Again, I'm sorry. I actually give a fuck about the truth.
I want people to watch this and be like, okay, that was either the craziest thing I've ever heard or he's making a lot of sense.
You
live forever and jump into a new body. That's been going on since the 1800s.
That's been going on since the 1800s? That's right.
Acum 100 de ani oameni erau sterilizați forțat. Nu la noi în țară, dar ai de învățat. Eugenism, te preocupă ego, pe mine eugenismul. Ei vor ca tu să renunți și văd că le faci filmul. Să-mi bag pula, fugim în munți, iar când vine timpul păpușarii au control asupra tot. Media, învățământ, sănătate, monopol. Creează și modelează opinia unui om. Pe tine certă noi între noi, ei mai trag de sfori. Ce să-ți mai spun, bă?
Y'all ain't never heard about the IEEE, have you? I don't think you have. I mean, you probably have. Maybe you have. But you don't know nothing about it, do you? I didn't think so. What's it stand for? You don't know, do you? The IEEE. You don't even know. What if I told you that the IEEE is more responsible for what you feeling and what you might have felt a few years ago when you couldn't taste nothing and couldn't smell nothing? The IEEE probably had a little bit more to do with the acute actuality of that than the FDA or CDC. Now, they play a part too, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, it's buckets, y'all.
Ești bolnav, nu ești bolnav, vei fi vindecat forțat în calitate de asistat social isolat în dulap.
Yes, it's like COVID. You see what I'm saying? A couple people might have had what maybe or maybe wasn't a cold or radiation poisoning, who knows? But it wasn't a global deadly pandemic.
And I need you to remind me that we need more charcoal. Are you listening to a word I'm saying?
See what I'm saying?
And these entities visiting them are spirits, higher ascended spirits. Their ancestors on occasion, they go for the ancestor angle too. And they will have this experience. And then when they're done, they come back to their body and boom, they have psychic abilities because they merge with a demon. It's an initiation process. And you consent to it beforehand. And it sometimes happens when they're very ill in fever states, which, has trance states involved in heavy fevers and stuff.
Yeah.
Connected.
Fever dreams, right?
Theta brainwave state stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
demonii vor atenție de la Heruvin. Bea un vin, am ochii rubine, să mor tu de nu vin. Mândria-i teatru, păcatul-i tartru. Cine nu-și e sincer, si e șazi, e mai tru. DSSM part 1 se simte part 2.
Okay. Listen, we got some things to talk about tonight. There's a lot popping off here. There's so much action going on in the podcast industry, in the realm, the information war, all kinds of stuff is happening. Not only is there Discordianism and there's a lot of chaos, magic being played out, there's a lot of word magic being played out by a lot of big platformers, but there is a narrative and there is an agenda that is pushing consciousness and the whole idea of consciousness, also pushing the idea with how consciousness may be related to the soul, which, by the way, that was something that Epstein was talking about. Okay.
brainwave state stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it happens for shamans and other cultures of like witch doctor type, whatever the hell, more third world vibes, I guess. But they do that. And first of all, you can get spiritual powers via meditation and via Kundalini yoga.
But are they spiritual powers?
Well, they're merging with demons who are giving them psychic abilities,
Right.
which by psychic abilities, it's really just
They
them
do
plugging
not
into
like
them.
when you say that shit.
Oh, I don't
like
give
when
a
you
fuck.
tell new age practitioners, when you tell like witches
Yeah.
that like, look, the reason that you're having these experiences that you perceive as powers is actually because demons are facilitating a bunch of different shit by acting.
It sounds
through
very
you.
hokey to the unaware.
It sounds like, oh, you dumb Christian. Yeah,
It's
but
like when you
it's
call a
fucking-
demon a parasite. They
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
like
they
that
don't like
either.
that. Don't really have any right interfering with their way of life.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Okay, Bible shit time. Let's go.
When you study Gnosticism, you study the idea of the divine spark, which I do not consent to in any way. There might be something to it, but it is straight from the devil because it is pushing a human potential agenda. And it seems like this is what's going on. It's really falling into this awakening agenda. And the awakening agenda is what's going to usher in a false light source, a false light Messiah, a false light new world order, a false light unity, and a false light balance. Everything's going to just come together. I mean, timed and orchestrated. And what humanity just doesn't understand, the world, the people of the world do not understand that they are being played. They are being led into this by a shepherd, and it is the devil himself. All right.
What I just posed is a weak analogy. What you're dealing with is time and space
You're dealing
altering
with
supernatural entities.
6,000 years of murder,
Like,
torture,
the
rape.
craziest shit
Yeah.
in the world. Like, we can't even quantify or imagine the level of shit that's on the line.
It's not just physical torment that's been happening. This is spiritual torment that is happening to people actively for a millennia.
Yeah, we're dealing with basically magical beings.
Mă trezesc la 3:30 ca să-mi spui numele tău. Asta-i semn livire dragă, că nu mai ești în control. Hai, da hai, ridicați toți paharul, să ascultați ce vă mai cântă pagubă șamanul.
Eu n-am uitat de unde am venit și cine sunt încă afli. În fiecare zi n-am uitat.
I do feel, I have to admit, I find myself regressing in these days. And I know it's been coming out a little bit in regards to the witch thing, but it's like, I'm not the guy that you're going to sit back and argue your occult books versus how they contrast with the Bible and what scripture sets up this. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm a retard, and I'm a guy who's going to make fun of you in such a way that I'm going to highlight. If you can't see it, that's fine. But I'm going to show everybody else the fruits of the shit that you're delving into. So with that lady yesterday, with Danielle or whatever, it's like, she's not going to hear my words. Maybe one day in the future she will. But you know, when in the Bible, when it talks about testing spirits, one of the things it mentions is observe the fruits. Observe the fruits. And if you look at that woman that we were talking to yesterday, she is all fucked up. So I don't need you to hear. We're at this kind of almost like end game thing, it feels like to me, where it's right on the horizon. We got the witches are now overlapping with the UFO community. And I'm going, the only good weapon that I got at my hip, I could try to be cleaned up. I could try to be nice and everything. And I think I've done a good job. But the main thing that I got sitting on my hip
is the N-word.
Faggot. Boom. That's it, man. Boom. And what it does is it highlights exactly what you are at the cost of you.
Am făcut deja tancuri de rapoarte, că fiecare vers și scriu e atac. De acord că scriu special să facă toți atac de corp.
At the cost of you. So there's no decorum. You know, with Alberino, there's no decorum. I don't need people to see that your theology is bad. I don't need people to see that you understand the space between the megalithic stones that seem to be melded together. And do you know how thin those, and they were carbon dated? No, I don't need anybody to see that. I need them to see that you're a fucking faggot. That's it. That's where I'm at now. And so I find myself regressing lately. And I know a lot of people, we picked up a lot of new audience members. I'm sure they're probably recoiling.
So sorry.
I'm sorry, but this is who I am. I'm trying. I'm in this imperfect person.
Ce-ai făcut? Ce-am făcut? Le-am zis ca să știi. Yeah.
And it just takes the wind out of your
what
sails.
it is? It's like, yeah, we do have that. Like, I got that on my hip all the time, and now I'm just running low on time. I don't got time. We never had 2.5 hours to give this dude.
No.
And then it ended up weeks.
Știi și tu, au trecut ani de zile în pandemie, cu bande de pile, mulți bani de bile, în biblioteca chimică dată de sticker, cumpărană deschisă, fată de sticlă, absorbe, loja vicilor azi oarbe, da zmoarne, conștiința îți adorme.
Some sort of situation happened that destabilized the world. People in certain parts of what we call the Tartarian kingdom that hails out of the Russia area fared slightly better than other Moorish people closer to my complexion, otherwise called Native American, later called Copperhead, later called Negro, later called niggers, later called African Americans. These types of people were here much longer than they want us to believe. They lived harmoniously with other races and cultures in this greater kingdom. Something happened that destabilized both, and the West got it a little worse than the East. Yeah, the West got it a little worse than the Far East. And the kingdom that hailed out of the Far East that then took up root in Europe and England, that then took up root in the New World, is all about inverting history, inverting everything, inverting the direction of the slave trade, giving us movie after movie after propaganda to tell us that we come from 12 years a slave, from Amistad, from Django Unchained, from, Roots, or all these different movies we've seen reinforcing this entire fraudulent slave narrative. Yes, settlers came here, shipped a bunch of brown natives to the West, following the ocean currents, keep in mind, because there were no, as far as we know with the slave trade, there were no powered ships. So everything sails from the Ivory Coast and Cote d'Ivoire and the, Burkina Faso and like that kind of Western African tip down through the currents down into South America, Brazil, Honduras, Puerto Rico, Haiti. That's who got 99.9% of all the slaves. But half of them slaves came as transplants from the Western world to begin with. So they essentially just told the slave trade story in reverse. And people refer to the kingdom of the Moors. I had heard about the Moors for years. I just couldn't place them in a time window until very recently. The long and short of it is, Hollywood is about taking something very small and inflating it huge. I'm telling y'all, they've been doing this with history and math and numbers and science. You might as well just take a comma and a 1 off of every number they've given us. At least a comma and a 1. If they say it was 1,000 years old, it's probably 100 years old. If they say, oh, this is from 4,000 BC, it's from 400 years ago. It inflates scope. And that causes this rift in the tangibility and the approachability and accessibility. They introduce, carbon dating and all these different fossilized ways of, oh, this is a petrified rock. Oh, not really. You see what I'm saying? Tricks don't need to last forever because it's not about the trick.
Trăiesc în totalitarism, dar mi-am dat seama prea târziu, mi se părea că parcă știi.
The last thing that I would ever do is lie to you.
It's not about greed. Pfizer wasn't doing what they were doing in the ultimate sense because of money. Pfizer had plenty of money and they get paid in all kinds of ways that people don't realize. This was about creating a global experiment to introduce broadband internet input-output to human bodies under false pretenses, under the pretenses of saving you from a deadly virus that wasn't that deadly, that doesn't even exist. What does exist is computer viruses. What is a computer virus, Chris? For all my non-nerds out there, here's what a computer virus is. A computer virus is code actual code that some person or AI writes that creates instructions that cause the program that code is loaded onto to perform in a different way than how it was originally intended.
What did you say?
If you ask me, the whole concept of a human virus was about muddying the waters between the biological derivatives they were creating that may or well be called viruses, because the whole point was to create a computer virus for your body's genetic code.
Imagine a virus, the most terrifying virus you can, and then imagine that you and you alone have the cure.
Manipulating it via deoxyribonucleic acid that's adjustable from magnets.
What are you even talking about?
And electronic stimulation, since it's acidic and therefore electric. We are electric. The body is electric. Your biofield is electric. You have energy flowing through you, intuition, premonition, precognition, empathy, sympathy.
Non so ponte. Non so andarci.
These are all electrically readable on machines.
Now, I understand that when I'm doing this joke in this room, 50% of you agree with me, 50% of you don't agree with me. And I do respect the people who don't agree with me. Don't think I don't. The 50% that don't agree with me, 20% of those people are smart enough to realize this is a comedy show and it's not to be taken seriously, and they're laughing along because it's just funny jokes, right? And then the next 20% are sort of phased out a little bit and looking around going, wonder how they got that chandelier up there.
We're in such an electrically dependent world that I'm spending time tonight saying, people, pay attention to the context of this world we live in. It's all computer-based. It's all electronics-based. If you don't understand computers and electronics, it's okay. Not everybody needs to. But start actually paying attention to what the wide body area network is.
And to extend it further, deep breath in. You're going to pull all the way up from your toes. Shield! And let it extend. See how the pili get closer together when I do that? That's kinetic. It's part of what they use when they give commands to the drones, when they use a unicorn wearable. Okay?
You know, getting weighed down in definitions and what is the spiritual realm? What is an alien? What is a demon? Like all this shit. Beware of anybody who says that there's a good alien element to this. Beware of anybody who aligns themselves with people like Elizondo and all these fucking talking heads, you know, surrounding disclosure. Beware of these people, especially when they claim to be in this pseudo-Christian, you know, content creator space. Beware of these people, because those should be massive red flags to you. But he does it in a way.
They worship him.
If Nephilim Death Squad says too many fag words or too many bitch words, and you don't like that, and you want to listen to somebody who puts it in terms that don't offend your sensibilities, I think this guy does an excellent job.
It's kind of a thing that, like, I think since we spoke with him, I don't know if we've been struggling with it, but I think we're at the culmination of it right now. We're at the very tippy top of it. We got Cole coming later, and it's like, yeah, I cleaned it up because I wanted to, but then you drove me to a point where I have to go back and question. I'm like, what was I cleaning this up? Am I cleaning this up for the audience? Or am I cleaning this up because of God, or what am I doing here? Because I'm looking at somebody who is cleaned up in a way.
Yeah.
And you're the most horrific person I've ever had the opportunity to speak with.
I'm
just going to keep it real with you. With all you niggas right here right now.
Okay.
Okay. Preach. They're all going to kids. That's number one.
That's right.
Right.
But
some of them are going to be gentler.
No.
You don't put your faith in this Jew or that Jew.
Well, I don't put my faith in it. I just be
it's
like,
a different Jew.
That Jew is he's saying he's gonna steal less from me now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, you know what? I'm a bad person.
Well, I don't vote. I've never voted in my life, so I don't give I'm not going to engage with the system. I'm going to stand on the sidelines and call it gay.
Right.
And I'm going to try to have fun with it, because I believe that there is a spiritual realm, and we're being tricked into believing that this, you know, physical realm is all that there is. And
yeah, but now there's two genders again.
Well, that's the thing.
Isn't that fun?
There always has
Didn't
been.
you want that?
There always has been.
You
What's
see?
that fucking meme with the astronaut and
always
the gun?
has been.
Always has been.
Right,
Oh
but
my
now
God.
But now we get to say it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like these are the things that matter to me. If we're gonna play this
I
game,
do like that we can say it. Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna play the game. Everyone's playing this fucking game where, like, all right, there's 72 gen, maybe there's 2, maybe there's 72. I'm like, I'm gonna press the button that says 2.
You know what?
God strike me down.
Me, you, and Austin, we're all playing a game, and the end point of our game is. Can we say this until our fucking heads roll?
I'm the one who think that 9/11 shit was a hoax. Got a Glock Rottweiler in a pocket full of cash. If the world goes crazy when the stock market crash,
Yeah,
like
pretty
that's
much.
kind of where this goes. Is like, can we say this until the fucking window closes and you're not allowed to say it? Then can we keep saying it until they cut our fucking heads off?
Yeah.
And so I want people to understand that if anybody is living here and they think that a politician is ending what was only established here, I need you to understand that there were plans made here, here, and here that are still on trajectory, that don't have anything to do with draining swamps or making America healthy again. That is, America wasn't ever really that healthy. And I mean, they were healthy just fine when it was indigenous, you know. Make America healthy again, great, but if you just stop spraying nanobots on everything living, maybe health will find us. You know what I'm saying? It's just a red herring, y'all. In order to make yourself healthy, this is a personal choices, personal responsibility.
Sau crește farsen, clește maxim. Treci de fals prin, crești de frasin. Am tras din fondul palmă recurent. Scriu pe întuneric o pană de curent.
This change that's about to happen. I know I've been hopping all around, but the reason I'm hopping all around is because I'm trying to show y'all how so much of what the Trump, Kennedy, Musk conversation is about exposing this industry. Can I tell y'all, the way that COVID was handled already exposed the pharmaceutical industry. Everybody, minus the completely asleep and completely glued to the blue option on the television, everybody knows that the pharmaceutical industry was way out of pocket with COVID. Half of y'all realize that they've been out of pocket since before COVID. Oh, but we changed the formula out before we sent it to the FDA because we did. And yes, a court has ruled that they actually did that. And you can call that whatever you want. I call it fraud and deception. So,
Am pierdut lent pentru un moment. Ai rupt potent când vorbele le duc torent. Ascultă-mă, ca-i baionete în repere. Vreau să-ți ieși din fire ca marionete rebele. Nu plânge la scit, ci strângeți argint printre demoni languroși și îngeri la scit.
How the pedophiles get in control of AI?
The pedophiles at a whatever level, the devil, whatever you want to call it, this interdimensional thing that gives them advanced off-world technology, the fallen one that's not of this world, is giving them advanced knowledge on how to construct these systems that have already been used before on other populations.
What?
Is that Satan?
But what are you talking about?
That was his rant.
I'm not sure. We're going to go back to that. Right, sure. He's definitely high as fuck.
The reason this is important is because things are moving faster, and people are just now starting to wake up to the old trick, y'all. And the new trick is already it's already full steam, y'all. The new trick rides in on a horse called righteousness, and the legs and the horsepower of that righteousness, right? Air quotes, is all based off of the expose of the nefarious activities of the old trick. Okay, now the old trick we refer to commonly as the cabal, the deep state, the Federal Reserve and its ilk.
Eu chiar știu, nu că doar cred, nu e ficțiune. Dacă văd elicoptere negre și agenți, prea atenți să fim neatenți. Dobrogenește între șobolan și snakes.
First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Wow. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Ce te face să fii așa de sigur că viața nu e un teatru și tu ești pe scenă singur?
We need a paradigm shift. I mean, think about it, Truman. If everybody is in on it, I'd have to be in on it too.
She's making all this money. Nope, you little whiny bitches got pissed at me for making t-shirts with diagrams. I make the fourth wall harder to find because I don't want people there that are like you. Keep your money. It's all free. You don't need to pay me. Don't subscribe. Don't email to me. No. And if you're trying to get a hold of me, you got to go through the phone tree. That's other people, because usually there's more of them than me. And if you're just trying to get a question answered, there you go. You got it right away. And there are tons of other people that are presenting and doing their own thing. I don't advocate for nanotechnology or wearables of any kind at all. Always. I say it over and over again. I show it over and over again. But here come the same little trolls that are obsessed with my genitalia. And now they're convinced that somehow by forwarding posts for companies, plural, that have no affiliate links, this is how stupid you look. This is how stupid. There's no affiliate links to those things. Those are full-on products that they show on places like The View. 10 years on the Facebook. It's all about the money. Excuse me. The Ko-Fi's not there, and if it is, it's still in the process of being shut off and shut down. There are bank account issues. That's why we went to the fourth wall. And I'm not shutting down my fourth wall because you whiny little bitches can't stop being obsessive, okay? It's there, but it's there for our people. And you don't need to go there. Hey, keep your money. Or Clariosa Creatives. She makes t-shirts, and hers sometimes have diagrams, pardon my nose, too. So I don't want your money, I don't want your attention, and I don't even want your time. The only thing I want from you, whoever you are, admit that the biofield is anatomical, okay? Admit the industrial, internet, and medical things for your healthcare, and that's it. Maybe get the TechMetric PDF. It's free. You can download it, or you can just save it as a file. And that way, when the time comes, it'll help you sort things out easier for what's already deployed. That's it.
Excuse me?
I'm starving and the instructions are all stupid.
Oh, is this my teenager? How's it going, dude?
It's not going. The ramen's all hard and I can't eat it like that.
Well, you have to put the noodles in boiling water.
Where do I get water?
Do you have a sink?
Bruh.
And then there's the last 10%, and they're fucking furious. Right now, in this room, and the people watching at home, 10% of you are fucking seething. And for a couple of reasons. First reason, I'm making good points.
$0 of public funding to address the ongoing genocide of MMIWG2S LGBTQQIA+.
Oh, I felt like I just got fucking Kamehameha. That's so crazy, bro. By the way, that entire speech was delivered by a panel that looked like the fucking Galactic Federation of Light. Like there's a Pleiadian in the back. Mm-hmm. This is one of those avian alien type of dude. You see the alien in the background.
Gold Dust in the corner.
That's literally the wrestler Gold Dust. That's fucking crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, on the lawn of the White House with his boy tits out.
Yeah,
I go. That's kind of good. I kind of like that.
I don't know.
I don't like when they the kids, and I don't like when they trans.
They're going to do that anyway.
But they're going to do that anyway. Well, they might not trans them anymore.
So I guess the question is, you going to press the button to say a little bit less of that?
No, I'm not going to push any buttons. I'm going to go, this doesn't fucking matter. The only thing that matters is calling it gay and retarded. And saying it as loud as you can, because God wants to know if you're going to stick to the truth to such a degree that they're going to cut your head off. And then will you still keep saying it? Right as the guillotine drops.
I'm going to do both.
Second reason, and this is the big one. I'm foreign. And that's pissing the fuck out of you right now. And your brain is on a loop and you can't fucking turn it off. And it's just going around in a circle and you're just going, if you don't like it, go home. If you don't like it, go home. And my answer to that is no. Came here legally, I pay my taxes, I'll say whatever the fuck I want. Your First Amendment means that I can say the Second Amendment sucks dicks.
It looked like sketch work to me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was recorded initially. So this is
the way that it was recorded, the way that everybody was behaving.
Like looking at a red light and seeing.
But this is for the audience, people that are doing DMT, and if you project lasers onto a wall and you look at it from the correct angle, these people on DMT could perceive code. Is that more or less?
The code that they're looking at sounds, from all accounts, very similar to the code that you see in the Matrix movies, which is just a little too on the nose.
That's why the whole thing felt almost silly. I go, that's a funny sketch. Okay.
Better to be a fisherman than giving a fish. You were stuck inside the matrix, homie. This is a glitch.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams. Am I
gay?
Right. We don't use that word in here.
We're talking about hundreds of eyewitnesses at this point who all describe the same thing. Apparently, it's difficult to perceive at first, but once you can see it, you can always see it.
That's interesting.
And you have to be on DMT.
You have to be on DMT.
Right.
So I'll never see it.
Right.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. I'm good on that.
We had some guys try to like come to our Airbnb and do this. I was like, no.
No.
I was like, I actually died. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
By believers in Jesus Christ, if you're legitimate and you tamper with these hallucinogenic compounds,
if you enter the spiritual realms illegally,
yes, you are eating from the table of the enemy, and you are therefore they can do whatever they want with you.
Yeah. Consent is handed right over.
I always felt that way, like, whether it be mushrooms, I haven't done any, and I've had in my house, and it was like I had this inkling, like I know a little too much. Where if I step into this realm, if this is legit, and I step into here, whatever's on the other side is free reign because I'm going to.
You know better.
Because I know better.
It's the same reason that angels are alleged to have been judged more harshly is because they know better. They know the spiritual implications of the things that they do, whereas we have forgiveness, because we're retarded. We don't know. We don't see the spiritual realm. We don't understand the implications of the things that we're doing.
Yeah, you can't do a show like this and then step into the spiritual realm without something touching you
or
following you back. So I'm like, I'm okay for now. I'm good. I'm not going to do that.
That's it.
Te-ai tripat, face versuri pe tine ce te-ai schimbat acum ți-o fi frică de moarte. Un moment să mă reculeg ce dis și vis de visul meu atins pic a fi să fix intraviz am pix și-am vrut eu să zic tu n-o să te prinzi plus dacă te prinzi comportamente defecte efectele o să le simți în primul rând față de părinți în ultimul poate de poliție sau invers depinde de caz de necaz mai exact nu pot să scrie exact mi și după să scat nu jucăm GTA trase lumea stalor multicolor dacă ai stai și ai gândi o oră ai vedea că e doar cu lumini de cor iar la intervenție puțin de vorbă.
Okay, so they're looking through this laser, they're perceiving this code, and this is doing a lot to add to this idea.
It is, and one of the more well-known DMT researchers, a fellow by the name of Andrew Gallimore, who has had lengthy interactions with Danny Goler on this topic. He had an interesting observation, which is that if there is some sort of super intelligent computer mind behind a simulation, it wouldn't make sense that the code would be visible symbols. It wouldn't make sense that it would be anything recognizable to us. And I thought that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But if this is a deception or part of a broader deception, then it makes sense that there's visible code, because what we're finding here is, in my opinion, I think what these guys are looking at is going to be used as the foundation to somehow proving, quote unquote, that we do live in a simulation. And I expect at some point that the scientific community, it will come up with a way to, air quotes, prove that we do live in a simulation. They've been building this narrative for a long time. It's one of Elon Musk's favorite.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
He talks about it, very often. And the attitude is, if it can be proven that we live in a simulation, well, then the God of the scriptures ceases to be important, because he's probably a simulation too. He's probably a concoction.
Well, that was going to be my question. If you think that they did do something like that, would that lead to a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of things?
Absolutely. It shouldn't. For well-established, well-founded believers, it won't. But the way Christ words this in the scriptures is that if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. So there's some massive deception coming, and soon. And the instructions in Scripture, the way they're given to us, are such that if you can be deceived by this, you will be. It's that simple. and it's gonna be profound, and it's gonna look believable. They're gonna, a lot of guys talk about there's going to be a fake alien invasion with Project Bluebeam, and it's going to be obviously fraudulent. And my thoughts are, if it begins that way, it's not going to stay that way.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the Great Deception, right?
We've always been looking at this and we're like, this is just too simple.
Yeah.
Right? It seems like it's all laid out and you can kind of choose your buffet of which way are we going to go. There's only 3 ways you can do this.
Yeah.
But that's not it.
By the way, if they did this simulation thing and it did lead to this fundamental misunderstanding, and you incorporated one way or another extraterrestrials, I'm doing air quotes, this could lead to such a complex deception that if that deception claims to reveal the nature of things to us, it would include so many different, religions. If you were of the Vedic, or
the one religion that they're really
that's what I'm saying
interested in the falling away of is Christianity for some reason. It's never Hinduism, it's never Buddhism.
But like Gnosticism and New Age types and Wiccans and Buddhists and all that could look at this and see a reflection of themselves in the deception and go, we were right. This is exactly what it is, and so in that way, falling away and consolidating under one religion could be feasible.
Le fac de capul meu, n-aștept după nimeni. Ți-arăt ce capul meu naște, citește printre rime. Citește printre rime, cuvintele mele scântărite, vezi că vin de...
Expected. I would say it's to be expected.
Vezi că lovesc cu versuri grele, vere, vezi cum rimez, subînțeles în texte, textul, ia-ți-l să descifreze poveste cu sens și teste rimez, să lovesc în bestie dovezi, mi le vezi în piese, cum crezi că te vezi la pense, știu lecții, așezi la feste, taxezi ce nu trec ca Nestle.
What if, let's say, what if Jesus returns and speaks? And then what? The people that are capable of high-level critical thinking go, U.S. Patent 339-3279, voice-to-skull technology, this is what's happening. You know what I mean? Like,
my competition is missing. Maybe it doesn't exist. Like global warming, I'm warning these motherfuckers to listen.
I mean, I know that the BRICS alliance is essentially replacing the financial alliance of the Federal Reserve hegemony and the whole Rockefeller dynasty, but he does have a rocket in Mars or something like that.
Așa în caz că ai uitat, bă, cine e șeful de fapt la noi în barcă? Cine e șeful de stat jos pe bancă?
Separate conversation, separate day. Mars and space and outer space and aliens and orbs and time travel, all these things are concepts that they want to model within the computer system.
Everywhere that you see joy, I see the pain. It's just the infiltration of the poison in my vein. Maybe it's a bit of paranoia in my brain. Or how I see the Hasidim and Goyim is the same. Maybe it's why I see Kaczynski as if he was saying he was possibly the product of a Christian name. Leo Zagami told us about the shift and change, but y'all ain't listen to him, y'all just want to shift the blame. Or maybe y'all just think I'm twisted and I'm on one. Or that it's the infernal power of the horned one. You don't want to shoot the fire, so come on, done. You don't have clarity to feel the power of God's drum. Do you overstand the God and his wealth? Have you ever seen a person just demolish himself? Or you rap motherfuckers only lie to yourself?
Galvanized too, because it feels as though some, large event is going to happen. I believe we discussed with Tim this idea that there is built within this narrative, right? You have the idea of the Galactic Federation of Light, which in my estimation is some sort of a psychological operation.
Well, can I tell you really quickly what it is? I'll pull this up. But
sure.
Here's a tweet from Anna Paulina Luna.
Oh my goodness, there it is. Yeah.
Influencer disclosures are coming. What is influencer? Who is this?
I'm sorry, how fucking gay is this?
It is.
It sounds like Lord of the Rings kind of graphics.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's it. That's what they're doing.
What are you really doing? Look at how they're doing it. They're doing it in the most cringe possible way. Something that could be really cool.
It is the same thing that happened when they gave those influencers.
On one side of the government, you have Trump trolling everybody with aliens in chains, Nordics in front of the wild, and all this BS, and which really, and then of course even using the official website, talking about illegal aliens comparing them with. I mean, that the whole thing is really despicable, because if we want to be serious about this topic, you're not there laughing it off or making jokes about it.
Yeah.
You are doing that if you want to cover your friends in the military industrial complex. Of course, Lockheed Martin and everybody else, Palantir, and that now is, of course, using reverse engineering in technology. Yes, of course, you are compromised. Trump is compromised.
Space might as well be server space at this point. Yeah, they're not in outer space pointing lasers anywhere.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
They're on the internet managing and governing cyberspace using human psionic abilities hijacked, repurposed with augmented synthetic biology so that they can log into wireless networks that certain augmented humans can already log into. Yes, already. That they told you was a conspiracy theory and it couldn't happen. And activate. They lying, y'all. They lying.
Our own people will enslave us ignorantly, and in doing so, will enslave themselves. So a lot of people are, oh, this is unpalatable. This hurts my feelings. I don't like the way it feels on my ears. People, do you understand that everything beautiful on the earth is at stake? Everything in the natural world, your bloodline, your future, your freedom, absolutely everything good is now at stake. It's not coming. It's 2025, folks. Their agenda is to deploy it between 2025, which is the big show, to 2030. You don't have any more time to feel good. You don't have any more time to be pat on the head and talk to gently and explain and us being patient. Now we who know are going to call you out for being fucking cowards and fucking idiots because you're bringing about the fucking apocalypse. The digital AI apocalypse is upon us. Will you fight or will you kneel? That's it, bro.
Cine are garda? Cine lasă toate astea să se întâmple? Cine face plata? Ține resturi de la cheeseburger la pistă. Suntem toți doar substanțe și enigme. Îți scriu cu ultima mea mână dreaptă. Mă seacă, aș dori un strudel și o armă.
In place of truth, we give you miracles. We wrap your world in illusions. We make you see what we want you to see.
Purely the psychological phenomenon. And
Well,
it's
then
like, well, you prepare.
Somebody would say, "Oh, well, just pray." I was like, "No, you better study."
Oh, you should pray too.
Yeah, but you better study because if you just pray, God's gonna be like, "Why are you talking to me right now?"
Yeah,
you should be practicing this line because this is all here for you.
But you
Get
don't.
ready.
Those are things that are actionable. You don't freak out. You don't smash it and it gets bigger and bigger and it causes you all this anxiety. It's like, no, do your job and then give what you can't do up to God and then just move forward.
What's the catch? The catch.
When it comes down to it, do you think if you're claiming that, like, oh yeah, dude, it's a ascended master, like Christ was like totally cool.
Yeah.
But like, I'm gonna go and touch these stones. You think you're gonna be when it comes time to meet your maker?
Yeah.
He's gonna go, I didn't know you, and you didn't know me. Clearly, you were wrong. Yeah. So like, there is no neutral party. There's a lot of deception.
Yeah.
Be careful with that.
Yeah.
That's actually worse. That's worse than the
I think
grace.
so, yeah. At least, and what is it? I spit you from my mouth because you are lukewarm. That kind of paraphrase.
Imagine being lukewarm and not knowing it though.
Cine a mai cântat despre COVID? Nimeni. Repatitudine, știi ce zic și care mai jignit personal și-a făcut răboi. Că aș fi antivaxer, s-a sucit când a început războiul, așa că las-o. Aș putea să o dau la travers, însă vezi, lucrând marinărește, nu-i pe înțeles. Mai ales dacă scriu un vers, aș vrea să însemne, plus că știi că nu ies marionete din toate lemnele. Prietene, tu temete de vreme ce suntem temete cu tenete la SNG.
Honey, are you okay?
Get in.
Truman?
Look.
What?
fresh.
Muzica mea romantică ca fizica cuantică. Când realizezi că nu înțelegi, faci atac de panică.
For a long time, I felt like I was causing more problems by saying, hey, check out this Discordian cult that's got its fingers in everything, because not only am I mentioning that this chaos thing is so ubiquitous, but it's also making it more ubiquitous. But again, knowledge of the problem does not mean you're adding to the problem, even though this one feels so intangible. You know, it's like you can't really quite grasp it, and it grows based on knowledge.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. It's called the American Dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
But if we point out that it is an issue, that you are being chucked golden apples at every single turn, that every pathway you walk down is going to have a golden apple, and it's in the middle of it, waiting for you to bang it, right? Or to club it. The problem is that it gets in the way. The problem is that it causes me to hate my brother. The problem is that it causes me to distance myself from my neighborhood, from my community, from my friends and family. That's the problem with the golden apple. Causes you to sin. Yeah, to miss the mark.
When I was a child, the devil himself bought me a mic, but I refused to offer, cause God sent me to strike with skills unused like fallopian tubes in a dike. My words will expose George Bush and Bin Laden as two separate parts of the same seven-headed dragon. And you can't fathom the truth, so you don't hear me. You think Illuminati's just a fucking conspiracy theory?
Conspiraționist sau sunteți voi legați la ochi? Cețe și cu generația woke. Românul era robot dinainte să existe în morții lui robot. Efectul final teselat.
This was the best you could come up with? It's not here yet. They don't have it. Federal Register. That's not good enough. We know better. We're gonna tear down towers. Are you now?
I think 1776 was really just about New England, the 13 colonies, and the entire rest of the country was unclaimed for this general time. And they want us to think it was just all homogenous from the beginning, but it really wasn't anything like we know it today until like World War II. This is World War I, World War II, and World War III. Until like here. So this is when the deep state, if you see here, deep state, let me flip it so I can actually read this. What we call our shadow government, they didn't really get the tentacles in fully until about this time. Now, there was definitely Masonic leadership and Jesuit BS going on, but it wasn't at the fever pitch it's at now until then. 1933 is when the birth certificate and the whole citizenship thing started to pop off, and that was kind of on the heels of the Great Depression. I say Rockefeller remix because this is when the educational system, the textbooks, the American Medical Association, all the colleges, and everything started to change to re-educate everybody about away from this, away from all this and all this and all this. And they want us to think that all this was right here, this is what they call medieval, and tell us this old world. This whole window of time between 1850 and 1950 is a complete changing of the whole conversation. This is where they hid the sixth sense, and they just erased it over time because the entire time they were developing centralized decentralization.
Sto eu, pușcând ca Hiroshima, pictate Da Vinci în timp pierdut, una cu vina. Ăsta război divin, o travă trasă pe nas de către un alt creștin. Accelerează în timp și spațiu, mason cu măști pe față, cuțite ascuțite ținte și vrăjtufi pe fază. Cuantic în ochiul furtunii, schimbând clima. Sabotor pe noua barcă cu sânge albastru ca regina. De atac cu tactica, în rap reptilian, radical ca papa în Vatican. În ultimul an eu cred în tine, că de la Rothschild până la Rockefeller e un pas mic spre bine. Aprindeți sufletul, mintea, când nivirul în sfârșit se deschide în ochiul furtunii.
Your biofield, I believe all of our ancient ancestors knew all about that type of stuff. They simply didn't, it wasn't industrialized or weaponized. You see what I mean? So it was kind of it's just yours to do what you want to with it. Just like your ear and your eye. They've essentially, how many people need glasses or contacts?
Y'all can't measure my worth, but when you try, you'll need a ruler made by all the Greek gods. Because the odds have always been stacked against me when back's against the wall. I feel right at home, y'all, sitting right at home all Kelly green with envy while I'm jelly beans descending into the palm of a child. Looks up at mama and smile with such a devilish grin. Like, where the hell have you been? She's yelling, selling's a sin. Well, so is telling young men that selling is a sin if you don't offer new ways to win. A dolphin gon' shake his fin, regardless if he is in or out of water. Most important thing for him is to swim and Flipper didn't hold his nose, so why shall I hold my tongue? I miss the days of old when one could hold his gal on his arm and I set off these alarms.
Okay, Matt, this here is going to be Duncan Trussell talking about his subject. And I think you have something good to say about this because I don't know what to think about it yet, but here we go.
This bizarre hybrid. On one side, you've got kind of like, somebody who's been living in the world of the transhumanists for decades. Somebody who, that's his life. It's a tech bro. And
Peter Thiel?
I'm talking about Peter Thiel. You know who Peter Thiel is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you going? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I just got to readjust.
Okay.
You have someone who appears to be taking the book of Revelation literally, right? So it's this combo.
Peter Thiel did a private meeting at his house, and actually Duncan Trussell was at it, where he broke down the book of Revelation.
That's Duncan Trussell?
He's a comedian.
Is he your buddy, or?
I don't know.
No, I do like Duncan.
He's a little bit of a new age dude.
Yeah, he's a bit of a satanic sorcerer faggot. But I think he's very funny. Yeah, he is very funny, and he's very insightful. His curiosity.
He knows a lot of esoteric shit. So he's just not on our side.
Right.
Coming from the same perspective. But he's at the guy's house. It's like a closed meeting where he's doing a speech on the Antichrist.
Peter Thiel is.
Peter Thiel. And when you look at Peter Thiel, you're like, dude, you operate a lot like the Antichrist.
Y'all are faithful to Cain. It's Gilboas in the fuselage, snakes on the plane. Stupid, you was poison at birth. This the Dead Sea, that's the lowest point on the earth. Your aim sloppy, your semi-jam. 4 or 5 Akis with shotties inside a minivan. Obligatory duties all for the day. Direction is more important than speed. I move how I move, no protection. That's word to a law, no finesse.
As Peter Thiel was explaining the Antichrist, he was like, don't you think that the Antichrist would be using the exact technology that you're speaking of?
That you're creating?
Yeah. Don't you think, if you're talking about this thing that's going to take over the world, isn't your technology exactly what they would use to do that? Do you think that's a little ironic? It was a cool interview.
So check it out. Let's keep listening to this.
It's a tech bro. And on the other side, you have someone who appears to be taking the book of Revelation literally, right? So it's this combo meeting. And so it felt like he was saying that there might be a way to patch the book of Revelation. Like a tech guy being like, we can control alt delete the book of Revelation. I think there's a way we can maybe forestall the emergence of the Antichrist. That there could be things that. So in other words, you're taking it.
It's talk about that. It's not profound. No. It's of course there's one side that's trying to speed up prophecy. There's another side that of course would be interested in stopping prophecy, and the idea that anybody historically has taken Revelation or biblical prophecy seriously and not considered how do we stop it.
You have Zionist Jews, in my opinion, who are trying to manufacture and accelerate toward the prophecy that is in Revelation and in their,
which is what, killing 1/3 of the earth and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that their Messiah can come.
I don't know why y'all scared now, this ain't a new game. Christians been raping children over in Ukraine. I don't indulge in small talk, it's only true pain. I don't devote to playing Ak, I fuck with Hussein. Acid is falling from the sky, fucking new rain. This is a flammable liquefied gas butane. Mugs gave me audio, heroin hit the blue vein.
And then you have people who are battening down the hatches and preparing. Elon Musk, Oprah, these people that have their underground tunnels that understand a cataclysm is going to happen.
That's a known thing for the famous people?
Yeah, but when you have ideas like Project Looking Glass.
Did they have shelters underground?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So you have this idea like Project Looking Glass or any of the potential time travel technology. And of course, there would be people who are, close to that technology who see prophecy unfolding and then who would go, how do we use this technology to stave this off?
To stifle it, to avoid it.
Of course.
To avoid, and I think what it is in the end is like, how do we avoid judgment?
Judgment, yeah.
The judgment, because we are not going to stop.
It's baby boomerville shit, right? It's like, how do we keep this party going?
But baby boomerville is worse because they don't.
They won't make no laws. I break their law till they see out our window. I take the fall to make them all treat humankind more gentle. Forsake them all. I hate them all. Don't like them. Don't pretend to. Yeah, something tells me we ain't in Kansas anymore. All the shit that used to be cool ain't cool anymore.
It is worse. Like they're like, we're gonna partake in all the earthly pleasures with no failsafe.
Right.
Elon Musk is like, I'm partaking in the earthly pleasures, but I want to also avoid this metaphysical judgment.
I think a lot of what Elon Musk is even thinking is like, okay, if there is going to be a judgment, and let's say it's going to look like a polar shift, and that's how we might. Elon Musk has come to the conclusion is the judgment of God, and
how do we avoid that?
Mars.
Yeah. Escape the planet.
Escape the planet. Go back in time.
Put your consciousness into a digital hive mind. Read the chat, perhaps.
And there are people who have said things like part of the idea of time travel is they keep going back and keep trying to adjust things to avoid the coming of revelation.
Yeah, but you can't stop. So it's interesting that this
I don't know. What's interesting is they're trying to avoid death. And that is the thing that says happens in the book of Revelation, that like they want to die and they can't.
They can't.
But that's like what the dude Elon's trying to do. He's trying to get the thing they put in the skull.
That's funny, right? You figured it out.
When you first read that 20 years ago, it wasn't that long ago. You're like, how is that even possible?
I'm like Elijah Muhammad, carrying thoughts afar. Laws of nature are mathematical thoughts of God. I'm taking everything, letting you faggot off the star. War criminals are becoming the arbiters of law. And y'all are fouler than swallowing pork. Real talk, free speech under foreign assault. And y'all are burying your head in the dark.
Now it's like, oh, I bet they do have a technology now where people don't.
Yeah,
like,
Donald
don't
Trump
die.
is talking about a medication that stops you from the brink of death, that brings you back or whatever.
This is what we were talking about on the previous show, where it's like, it's already been done. It's already judged. And they're trying to avoid this, but it's already done.
I know, but
and as a matter of fact, you're going to do it. They're doing it.
All that matters when that goes down is, are you with Jesus or are you not with Jesus?
sure.
That's the only thing that matters when that goes down.
Sure. It's fun to say, though, like, they're going to do it.
If they wanted to avoid it, they could just get right with Jesus.
No,
so it's weird if they believe the book of Revelation, but don't believe it to the point where they're like, I better get with King Jesus.
No, they believe they can outsmart him. It's the same people that think they can force God's prophecy.
I'm the father of anything that's been done before. I was sparring with you, I ain't even begun the war. Don't need hands, telepathically the gun will draw. That's the reason that you motherfuckers is running for. I saw the angel Gabriel, yo, who he coming for? Y'all occupy the same hell when I confronted y'all.
Bring it back like a couple of seconds.
Is it weird, though, that everybody he's explaining is predominantly churchgoers?
That line that he drops is like the heart of it. The world's ending when I die.
That's what I'm saying. It gets progressively darker.
What do you mean by the world's ending when I die? They're just saying, like, I don't give a crap about what I give to my kids, what I give to my grandkids.
They're not leaving shit behind.
The condition of the boomer.
Yes.
It's like, it's about me, and I don't give a shit about anything after.
So it's known the entire generation is like that.
Yeah. Well, pretty much.
Not?
It's gotten out now, yeah.
But it's been like this hard thing for me to like come to terms with.
Dude, it's much better in song.
Yeah, it is. It's much more digestible. But Top's right. This hook right here, feeding my flesh again in Baby Boomerville, is like,
when he said that, I said,
oh, those two things, the world's ending when I die and feeding my flesh again.
What happened to them that they want that?
They were told that they were special boys.
Do you plan on looking at your life and being old and giving nothing to your kids and grandkids and just going on cruises and stuff?
No, listen, for my inheritance,
sounds like torture.
You know what I've done with my inheritance already? I told my parents to buy the house that they built on the property that I own.
Exactly.
Instead of taking that money and having them somewhere else. So like my inheritance is them living with me.
Visors and flip-flops.
Oh, this is a
Bloody Marys and eye drops. 9 a.m. tea time, I'm blacked out by 3. Nothing matters, so why try? World's ending when I die. Rocking deep ends so I can golf when I pee.
So when they go and they sit down in the back of when we're doing a podcast and they go, I can't believe we're on TV. It's just like, yeah, the world's ending when you die. Nothing's it's all about you.
You can hear it when they sit down too, the squish sound of all the urine.
Feeding my flesh all day in Baby Boomerville.
Crazy.
My will gives it all to the ADL.
Oh my God.
The sensate wearable types, the neurology types, with all these doctors, they're on the Facebook and they sell bioelectronic wearables. About midway last year, arguing with the idiots up in Canada with their flying monkeys, I said, you don't need a tower. Oh, biosignals come from towers. And so I forwarded a bunch of these ads. And this was also for people that on the Facebook, that's where you have a lot of older people who are still stuck in the 1960s or the 90s. And they're like, it ain't possible. It's not here. Well, there's full-on ads on CBS and commercials on TV. So check the dates.
Efect de levitație în acest typhoon lyric. Și la sfârșitul zilei devin monstru de supat. Vreau libertatea presei ca să abuzez de ea, când de fapt mă extind ca un microb, un asasin orb. Arată-mi drumul ca să pot să mă întorc. Animal, animal, ai fantezii pe teme impuse. Găsește puterea și refuză. Animal, animal, insubordonat, fără tipar sau rasă. Matusalemic ca un baobab inestetic, sinestezic.
A whole lot of people that would just rather, like, you might call it sins of omission. They don't want to participate, but your non-participation is still a choice. So when you choose to participate in searching for truth, you're at least trying and you're doing the best of your ability. But by not participating, which is what we get with a lot of our friends and family that think we're all wackadoos and they don't want to have anything to do with us, they've chosen.
Yes.
To just not participate.
They're giving consent.
And therefore, they're not even part of the conversation.
Yep.
And by not being part of the conversation, the people that run the world get to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yes, because the world is run on freaking contract.
Here we are 10 years later, and we've slid so far down this parody hole that it's not just about like gender. Like, you know, you could talk to a boomer and they'll be like, oh, boys don't know if they're boys and girls don't know if they're girls. And we've got gay people getting married.
Although that's a fair observation.
Yeah, it's very fair.
Because you're going to, my soft approach to disagreeing with you is going to lead to you cutting off the dicks of children.
Not combating pure evil.
The Watchers, which were actual spiritual beings. So this is this concept of a hybrid that should not have been. That's why they're considered, you know, sons of destruction, if you will. So they then turned against righteousness, and we're going to read about that later. This is why verse 6 there, it says that they devoured flesh and drank blood, which we see later on in Scripture as being a part of occultic behavior that is not a part of God's righteous instruction on what type of animals to eat and when to eat them and how to cook them and all that kind of stuff, right? So they're doing everything backwards. And in verse 6, it calls them the lawless ones. So this gives you all this context. It's not trying to tell you that eating meat is bad. Definitely eating humans is bad, but it's specifically what they were doing as they were eating the animals and mankind, which we already know that cannibalism, eating mankind, is bad in Scripture. But this idea that they were eating and drinking blood as well, this is what is a huge no-no in the Father's instructions for living.
We take pesticide and we drug the clone. There's bounties on the warship. You should have faith in the oneness of God's lordship. The vortex is like a horse wish. Free the guys and blood all over the sword tip. I saw the biochemical grift. That was honor, that was part of my dimensional shift. We was outside, we was smoking Neville and Piff. You was outlined, we was from the Nephilim drift. Look, they worship in a DACA. There's blood around the body, and we circle in the Kaaba. We smoke Marley and hold sickles. Talk like Charlie and roll nickels. If you don't know where I'm at, don't tell me.
So this is what's going on with the Watchers, extremely intelligent from heaven above. They have more knowledge than mankind. They take wives and they genetically manipulate the birth of the babies that they're having. That when these kids come out, they're huge. Their astrology, as in verse 13, is mixed in with this kind of behavior. This is the behavior of Babylon since its youth. This is the behavior that was rampant throughout all the nations that practiced idolatry. But I'm trying to draw a specific focus just to Babylon through this series. But this is why in Revelation 18, verse 23, future Babylon is described as the same concept. And the light of the lamp will not shine in you any longer. The voice of the bridegroom and the bride will not be heard in you any longer. For your merchants were the great men of the earth, because all the nations were deceived by your sorcery. They were deceived by their sorcery. What is this sorcery, guys? Charms, enchantments, magical spells, tricks, secret arts.
It's obvious that we're immersed in these psyops. Now everybody and their mother is a high-level conspiracy theorists.
This is where the deception was always going to come from. Billy Carson, when we look at him, you go, yeah, this guy's a wanker.
I was sitting in my house. The house turned this lavender color. There were beings directly in front of my face, and they made my brain shake in my skull.
It's obvious. Yeah.
It's obvious, and it's easy.
No.
You can go and you can just pull the carpet from him on Joe Rogan and then just go start running.
Yep.
Right. But that's what they do. That's this false light. So when I learned that, spiritually speaking, the New Age is an entire movement built on presenting the false light as the solution to an obvious darkness that they themselves expose. They call it the season of disclosure.
The Great Deception. I think either Tom Horn or Steve Quill called it the Great Deception, right? Capital T. You know, and then Alberino says that he thinks that this is what the Antichrist will come from.
Yeah.
It's really just that simple. It's like you said that once upon a time. Now you're doing reviews of the Age of Disclosure documentary and you're like, this is fantastic. This is going to catch the normie up to speed on like what's happening with the, and it's like, catch them up to speed to what? It's a gigantic lie. You've called it the Great Deception in your documentary. Where are sound the horns, Timothy Alberino? And I guess it's kind of just guys like us that are. There's other people out there that are sounding the horns of like, I don't know. It feels like we're really gearing up for that.
You live in fucking Babylon and ask why. Your arms too short, the box guard, that's why. So watch a big mouth turn into a cracked eye. Watch a big house turn into a smashed eye. It's over. Send him to the devil, let his ass fry. Heavy metal on another level, that's I.
Because I don't think that this is the end of the world. I just think it's the end of the world as we know it. The transhuman agenda is fully live. The technocracy is fully live. That's what Donald Trump represents. That's what Elon Musk represents in adjacent with Donald Trump. These people are simply doing the bidding of the financiers that back their endeavors. Period.
Adică alimentați de o frică alchimică sau curaj, mai ziceau unii soldați medaliați cu fața subtă.
Of course, this is the criticism that you'll get from every single time.
Yeah, this is pretty gay.
I believe in Christ, and this guy seems like a douche. Actually, I am kind of a douche when it comes to this.
That's accurate.
I don't care. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. He's talking about Christianity. A man's spiritual
but he's not
journey.
talking about Christianity. Look at this guy. He's talking about...
He's dressed as Pleiadian Jesus. He's talking about some other shit. A man's spiritual journey is important. I don't know what that means. Deems fit. That's how I see it. And I just... And I just responded back, I seem like a douche, but we're all good with the dude who called God evil, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
Current Christianity is pure faggotry to the highest levels. I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say it to whoever will hear me. Every single day. Real ones feel like they don't fit in, and they're right. You're called for more than this lukewarm bullshit. Reject it. But this is the attitude of the Christians. You know why? Because it's safe. Because Jordan, I think deep down they understand the formation that is being caused against people who believe what they believe, and what they're doing is going, please don't look at me. Hey, what if I went beneath you and said sorry? What if I said, oh no, not like that. Well, you're not going to kill me later, right? You're not going to target me. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you'll probably be the first ones to go. You're a weak bitch. And all of these people, all the Christians who have formed against, like they've watched what was said here and go, man, the words that Top said were just harsh. And oh my goodness, I am so sorry he spoke to you like that. It was like he called your God evil. He called the creator of the entire world and everything in it evil.
What did Moses say when he found them worshiping the golden calf?
He said, fuck y'all, and then he killed about 3,000 of them. That's what he did. That's what he said, and then that's what he did.
See, that's my thing is like, you either believe this shit or you don't believe it. And at the very least...
Te-am ofensat very good. Vrei să fii cool, să fii cool. Pula în cur și sufletul, hai, marfă tripul. Șnelă, urlă, udă, plânge după. Văd ce băiat bun, dar păcat că e o gherlă cu păcate gârlă. Sufletul urlă, lasă. Dă și tu ceva de hasă, o crotește-ți nasul. Ia-s-o. E dubla doi gen.
I was talking to, what's his name? Matt's friend out there. I forget his name again. But anyway, talking about Wes Huff. And I said, Wes Huff's gay. And he goes, yeah, he's kind of gay. And I go, Wes Huff is a tool.
Okay, that's what you said.
And he's a tool. No. He's a specific type of tool. A tool
right.
He reached Joe Rogan, got Joe Rogan to start to go to the church. I mean, shortly after Joe Rogan goes, I think Jesus might be AI.
What's more virgin than a computer?
And I'm like, well, he's a tool that gets Joe Rogan so far.
Right.
So like, yeah, he's useful for this thing. And he's better than I am, but he doesn't do what I do. The same way, like, I don't do what a lot of people back there do.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, all right, there are different causes for this.
But that's what I'm saying. So you can find all that, or you can join the Jehovah's Witnesses and the work is done.
No, absolutely not. Oh, bollocks. I know you, Butcher. There's no way this doesn't end bloody.
A week from now, all them geezers be pushing daisies anyway.
And honestly, I don't think there's any fucking difference either with the whole Gnostic thing or atheist thing. Because the Gnostic thing, it's like, all you're doing is looking into texts that preceded your own work in your own labor, right? And you found, the demiurge, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, this and that. Atheism is really lazy. It's just like nothingness and science, materialism.
I want to do what I want, so therefore the authority must be evil. You sound like a fucking preteen girl.
I just think...
Clip that.
The fuck does that mean? What is it? Marvin, talk some sense into him, would you?
Butcher's the only one making any sense right now.
What has happened to you, kid? It's like you gone crazy.
The whole world's gone crazy. I'm just catching up.
The amount of people that are going through, and like I said, I understand that idea that you could just be adhering to a religion and you're trying to tick all the boxes that are these questions that are burning, inside your mind all the time. Who am I? Now I'm on the other side of that, where like I have all this weird conspiracy background and people are like, you're a Christian, you know nothing. And I'm like, kind of, I don't know much. And I don't have all the answers, but I'm not that thing that everybody kind of looks like.
Oi.
And it was something like, hey, love you guys, longtime listener. You guys are like fighting everybody. And I don't think that that's the way to bring people to Christ. And I was like, look, man, I hear what you're saying. What did Elijah do with the prophets?
Yeah, he cut their heads off.
How many were there? Like
how many
prophets of Baal?
How many mean tweets did he send?
It was like 2,000. Was there 2,000 or 200 or?
That's like 305, something like that. Yeah.
So he eliminated like 300 to 400.
You're talking millions.
Motherfuckers.
They're lucky that we're not there yet.
And that's just my thing is like people see the rhetoric and they see the and I'm like, dude, this is another thing I did recently where I typed in like, list all, I was asking ChatGPT, the demons, list all of the insults that Jesus Christ used in the Bible. And then I opened up another one and I was like, what insults were popular during the day of Jesus Christ? He used all of them.
Faggot.
He used all of them. He used all of the insults that were popular during that time. So to me, that means, and it's probably going to upset a lot of people, that if faggot was available, I think he would have used it.
He might have used it.
Because he used all the ones that were available. So it's just like, I don't know, man. People, we, and this is the other thing people got to keep in mind. We look extreme. So your dialogue with Homeboy, we look extreme.
He called me an extreme. What did he call me? He called like some sort of extreme whatever. And
right.
I'm just like, dude, if I was extreme, like this.
No, we are.
These are words.
This is the embarrassing thing. We are extreme.
In a world of faggots.
Yeah, in 2026.
Mă umflu în pene respectos reprezentând băieții. Văd în ochii tăi, bă, că vorbesc cu pereții.
It's sad, actually.
But Elijah would call us faggots.
Probably. He's like, you haven't killed them yet?
Yeah.
You haven't cut their heads? What do you mean you haven't cut their heads off yet?
You didn't feel that little thing that's stirring in your spirit that
Have
said
you
kill them?
asked God to bring down fire on them? Why not?
Right.
Yeah. We're not there yet, although we will be there soon.
You and MM still think...
Oh, for fuck's sake, Huey, knock it off with this V1 shite. You're doing me fucking head in.
You know, in a world without rules, which we're like rapidly headed toward.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe things turn and we get some more normalcy. But like in a world without rules, these people here, what he's painting the picture of, he's painting the picture of a question mark. Like maybe God's like just awful. And maybe the people that follow him are all tyrants too. Maybe I have no real opinions of my own because I'm a bitch and a coward and I can't say it.
Wake up în cel mai rău mod, în haine cumpărate din cel mai rău mall.
And I go, okay, well, you're going to paint me in that light, but in a world without rules, the people who do follow that God, what would you do to them?
Now listen, if we do find that stuff, we're not making any fucking vaccines out of it, all right? We're not the Department of fucking Health. We burn that shit before Homelander gets his paws on it, and that's that.
Let's play this out. Let's play that game. Because I think I have an idea, and I'm never wrong about this shit. What would you do? Let's say all these people, all these tyrannical blue-haired retards that hate you for, I don't know, voting for Trump in 2016. What would you do if, let's say, there's a virus that shut down the world? Let's just say, what would you do if you could target people who didn't behave the way you wanted to according to the rules that you created to this virus? What would you do to them? Would you take their kids?
Well, here's
their
a
jobs?
better, not even that.
Would you take their lives?
Well, if you want to kill yourself, knock yourself out. But why do you have to decide for the rest of us?
Oh, because I'm fucking right. Because I've always been right. I've been telling you lot from the fucking start, the sky has fallen. And guess what? The sky fucking fell.
What would you do in a world where they introduce aliens and they introduce a bunch of systems and technology that makes it a utopia, and then they tell you that we're standing in the way? And we are standing in the way going, those are demons.
Yes, like I'm standing in the way.
Orice identitate se dizolvă. Asemănarea dintre sistemul de supraveghere orwelliană și sistemul nervos uman e ca o confirmare a zicalei nu există coincidențe sau până și paranoicii au dușmani. Întotdeauna ne păcălim spunându-ne că avem timp suficient. Poate că uneori ar fi bine să luăm în calcul mai în glumă, mai în serios, că timpul a trecut și că asta a fost viața noastră.
And I'm also going to not say that I'm not standing in the way.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
At the least, you're going to try to lock us up.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of help bring it down.
Oh, don't give me that bollocks. Listen, Homelander thinks he's a fucking god. Once he becomes immortal, he's going to start killing like one, and we are talking millions.
Also, modern day Christians would be like, yes, that's what we're called for. Also, right here, Daddy, cut here.
Yeah.
Which way, facing up or down?
You
How
can
do you
cut
wanna
my
kill
head
me?
off.
You
but I'm
could
going to fight you.
Yeah, but I'm going to kill a couple of you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what we're doing here anymore. But it brings me to this next point here.
You can live with that, can you?
Un adevăr ascuns pe care doar eu îl știu e că lumea asta e plină de maimuțe mistice otrăvite și mulțumite în dezmățul lor mimetic. Nevoia de poveste întipărită în ridurile de pe creierul lor împăturit. Dacă nu ești ca ele, o să creadă despre tine că ești inamicul lor, însă neputința generalizată e doar zgomotul de fond în decorul ordinii capitaliste globale neoliberale. Umil în fața unor asemenea concluzii, îți pot spune ce bine era în 1500, înainte de mizeria asta fetișistă. Ca bestii verticale împuțite, inocenții vorbesc despre libertate fără să știe că au luat forma cuștii în care trăiesc.
You gotta frame shit for him.
Yeah. Obedience. You're going to give it to me. And I'm not going to explain why. Because number one, it's going to take too long. Number two, you don't get it.
This is so stupid too. The idea that like punishing, you said he punishes rebellion that will lead his flock in danger. And the idea that you can't see that just because entities are trying to like offer good things, well, I'm giving you something good. I'm telling you, you could be like God. I'm telling you, you could be your own boss. I'm telling you, you could have all the answers to the nature of reality and how to bend it to your will.
Yes.
Infant. Hey, infant. I can teach you how to bend reality to your will.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, infant, I can teach you mystical hidden truths that God doesn't think you're ready for. Because who is God? You can be just like him.
This is the equivalent of like letting a pedophile be in charge of your children. Like I'm letting this babysitter pedophile give my children advice. And then now daddy's home and daddy's going to say, no. None of that shit.
Evening, cunts. Daddy's home.
I'll just expose this whole grift, dog. You're just making ebooks, self-help ebooks, and you have some sort of a fucking sweat lodge that people go to. I assume this is how you make money. And then you do a podcast that people believe that's full with Gnostic bullshit that will lead people directly to hell. So here we go. Let's read a little bit more about my response. And this is really what got him upset. Because we were cool before this, even though I've been scouting you as a homosexual for quite a while.
Normal că par venit din paleolitic, în contextul în care rapării sunt corecți politic. Fără șlagăre poși pagă de vară pe rapăre, până o să te bage lagăre de oagăr, motherfuckere. Nu țic să-ți ard în frânghită grindă, dar mă întreb cum căcat te mai poți privi în oglindă. Am văzut că nu vă mai lăsați fixați în ochi. Dați noroc, pivotați și o luați de loc. Văd negru să mor. Cum te întorci cu spatele la toți cei dragi ai tăi pentru noștiori, nenicule? Dacă te faci că plouă, ești chior sau n-ai nimic în testicule. Una din două.
He is jealous over you, his creation, over the relationship he has with you. That's what jealous means. Not jealous that like a girl would be jealous.
Like you're spending time with somebody else.
Over something that you have. No. He is jealous over you. He created you. He's jealous over that relationship that you are now squandering because you're seeking relationships with Sophia or whatever
Well, that's the thing, right? So
entity you're summoning at your sweat lodge where you do ayahuasca with your gay drum circle that you're all naked in.
Medical vorbind, sunt un fost ochelarist, ca voi toți crescut în confortul stalinist. Laris, întreb așa să văd cât ești de dur. Dacă statul ar fi condus de un poponar, te-ai fute în cur?
I think what he's jealous of specifically is like, yeah, we're his creation.
Yes.
And then what are we doing? We're not just spending time, we're worshiping other entities.
Yep.
We're attributing creation to other entities. Like that's not just like a girl who gets jealous that you're spending time with other girls. This is God who created you experiencing jealousy because you are worshiping, you're giving the most potent form of energetic exchange to fallen entities. And then what's more is you're buying into their bullshit when they tell you they created you and they created all this. They seeded the planet, they did this, that, and the other thing. So they're your creators. So you're attributing everything that God made to fucking them.
Yep.
That's an unbelievable layer of jealousy.
You don't give a fuck about us. I can see through your facade like a fallen angel standing in the presence of God. Bitch niggas scared of the truth when it looks at you hard. It's like MK Ultra controlling your brain. Suggestive thinking causing your perspective to change. They're fighting for freedom and fighting terror. But what's reality? Martial law is coming soon to the hood to kill you while you hanging your flag out your project window. Yeah.
I said it to some other new age fucking retard in the comments at some point, but they were making that point. They were like, oh, well, you know, this guy is God is like this and like that. And I was like, dude, if I was God, you're lucky I'm not God, because I would have killed you motherfuckers a long time ago.
Butt fucked you.
For real. Like the amount of treading that you're doing past the line. Jordan then responds to me, good fathers don't demand obedience, they earn trust. And it's like, man, the fucking
earn trust.
The audacity
Imagine
of
trying to earn the trust of a toddler.
Not just that. So a toddler is something like, I pay for your diapers, I pay for your food, I pay for the roof over your head. But this is monetary stuff. This is all superficial kind of thing. I'm also carrying
and then
you.
a toddler is intellectualizing it. He's going, well, he has taken great care of me and therefore I trust him. It's like, no, hey, that's hot. Don't touch it. I said don't touch it.
It's so much crazier than that, because it's like I said, incredible thing to say as you operate in everything he's created. Every breath that you take, everything that you see, the fact that you're able to move around with like a functioning body is because of him. And you're going to be like, earn my trust.
Earn my trust.
Earn your trust is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's insulting.
Nu mă mai simt patriot de mult, bă, post mă condamn la modul cântă mimnul pe Instagram. Te simți falnic, nici nu știi cuvintele golan mic. Piele de găină, cred că streu un Heimlich. Pune piesa lui Travis mai bine hai.
Also, I've never ever gone about earning my kids' trust.
No, he goes, I have kids, not sure if you do. I created them. I would never hold that over them. I do not demand anything from them. I earn their trust and love. And I go, I do have kids. I don't need to earn their trust.
You know what I tell my son? I brought you into this world. I'll take you out of it.
That's old school shit. But the fact that I provided for them is testament. You did not create your kids. You fucked someone in a drum circle and an unexplainable miracle happened. Show some respect. And then he goes, I think that we're worlds apart. Have fun in your world. I said, yes, the real one. And then this is where his shit really starts to, then he goes, prison. So now we're in a prison planet.
Is it?
Yep, of course, prison planet, where you get to have these wonderful, beautiful children whom you love so much and are allowing them, I don't know, to free range, raise themselves. I don't understand, whatever.
we live in a prison planet and everything is horrible and this and that. And I'm just like,
As a guy, has he ever been to? Because I've been to jail. It wasn't cool. I was when I was there, I was like, oh, this is definitely jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like I'm not outside having a beautiful time. My kids at the pool and I'm fucking enjoying the sun. And I go, it's a prison. This is a prison planet.
Yeah. So he tells me this is a prison planet. Have fun in your prison. And I go, there's a lot of freedom in Jesus Christ, but choose to be a petulant child. Enjoy your chains. Didn't like that either.
Yeah.
And then he responds back to me. He's blocked me, so it's hard to find through this thread. But he's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
He called me fuck you and your righteousness. And I'm like,
yeah.
Like, yeah, all right, cool. I mean, yeah, that's it.
Hai mersi, o pun la colecția cu sfaturi pentru MC despre ce să scrie mai precis. La cine și eu să zic de secetă sau creșterea temperaturii medii tardiv. Avem climat temperat cameleonii. Îți explic, trăim triunghiul lui Sierpinski într-un climat. De-aia mi-am transformat mai cu un toiagul lui Esculap. Cerul nu-i curat și soarele mai supărat. De când cu noi crește și temperatura ca harapal mă ia de cap. Efect de seră, mizeră, lumea încuiată. Gunoaie peste tot, noxe, trafic, cioardă. Vrem să ne fie bine fără să ajutăm vreodată. Ni s-a spus ce și cum ne prefacem că Gaia iartă, Gaia nu iartă mâncat. Ne-am lăcomit și Gaia nu iartă.
Like he even said something. He was like, I actually don't do these things to my kids. I'm like, that's why they're going to be gay.
That's what I said. And he goes, hey, he goes to me, hey.
Did you say that?
Buddy. Well, no. Somebody said, he's like, hey, man, that's not a good way to raise them. And I go, these kids are doomed. And then he responds back. I was like,
love and light.
I think I have.
Isn't that what he said? He's like, peace be with you.
No, he called me a righteous fuck. And I go, it's all love and light, faggot. And he says, so this is what he says to me. Hey, fucker.
Hey, fucker.
Fucker.
Hey.
I let all your other dribble slide, but never mention my kids negatively again. I'm not fucking kidding. And I go,
you let that dribble slide, bitch. I just crossed.
How about
you
I
over.
say what the fuck I want to say?
Wait a second. What are you doing, dude?
Well, my bad. We'll put it
Relax. Put that away.
Yeah. No. But I'm going to continue to say what I feel like saying.
Right.
And that's why.
I think that's fair.
But I say, hey, man, you sling shit, expect it back. But also, what I said was never like at his kids. I'm not calling his kids shitty. I'm saying that there is a probably 90% chance that they will be shitty because you're raising them.
Right.
That's it. And you're telling me how you're raising them.
Z-Man says, I just had this talk with my kid. I told him I'm daddy, and if I say something, it goes. He said something like, scroll up. Well, what if mommy, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, I can ground mommy too because I'm daddy. Hell yeah, Z-Man. That's what's up.
That's right.
That's what's up.
Look at me. I'm daddy.
I'm daddy.
Și asta non-stop, am un scop să privesc în jos la stele, să acopăr soarele și în calea lactee, să picur un pic de culoare și apoi mai vedem. Plouă colorat, uite, pentru tine o fac pretutindeni, pentru tine doar, pentru tine o fac pretutindeni, vai mi.
So here, bring it back on. Let's
okay,
let's read
this gay shit.
So,
sorry.
So ask yourself, who's bad here? The entity most people call God. It's so crazy, man. It's such a childish way of looking at shit. The entity most people call God is for sure a creator, but not the creator. Yeah. More of a demiurge.
Wow, what again? An original
shocking. And the angels that rebelled against this oppressor were cast out of heaven and labeled fallen.
Because they did fall.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. But they have been shown continuously to be trying to help humanity. That's an insane thing. So all of the sacrifices that they demand, human sacrifices and all these other shit,
they helping.
The direct intervention, the sexing of the women, the hybridization, the monstrous behavior, the tyrannical evil shit. But they are restricted. Now, there are definitely things out there we'd call angels, demons, and aliens. I once again beg to differ. I think aliens is a gay terminology, and you would not be saying that at all if it wasn't for 80 years of Hollywood indoctrination.
S-au tras la sorți toți tonții în doctrina azi de retorica reforme. Zic că nu e greu să încerc să-ți cumperi zei, eu măcar dau din capul meu.
Demigods. Some of them
men of renown.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them much more openly and on their face. You have Hercules and Thor and all these guys. But then when you consider I'm going to call it worship because it is worship, right? I mean, you're covering your walls in iconography. You're buying all the merch. You're never missing the movies. You're everything that you wear has their image on it.
Right.
I mean, I know adults, you know, with children whose entire homes are dedicated. They've got all the Funko Pops, you know, that line their entire bedroom walls and all this stuff. And it's like, you're right back to the people of antiquity.
What else could I say?
I think the show The Boys actually did a fantastic job. And man, the layers of obscurity and like social confusion that are put on top of it, it actually is a genius job of what they did was they took one of the main characters who is the Uberman. She's the Superman, the Homelander, and they made the right wing population crash out because they modeled him like Donald Trump, and then he gets a God complex, and then he starts to actually create a movement where he replaces the church and he is God, and he's trying to do that. But it's I think it's going to be lost on the left that views this for entertainment and like, you know, Marvel wow factor and he split his head open, and the right is angry that they're comparing him to Donald Trump. But there's something in there that really nails the story, and it's perfect for the time for right now. And I just feel like nobody's getting it.
Tara, cut it out. Come on.
I'm a fan of watching those movies with my son, but I can clearly see the implications it's had. You nailed it, right? So there's obviously this adult adolescence epidemic that we're being subjected to, where it's like men just aren't men. Nobody wants to grow up anymore. And
I think that's the surprising part for me is like I'm watching and I understand the messaging underneath, and I was like, it actually is pretty solid. But I also understand the reason why they're buying the chic razor blades. I'm like, you're not watching this for that. You're watching this. This is, guys, this is slop, you know?
Yeah,
and I enjoy slop like the rest of us. But I sit down and I say, this is slop.
Delicious slop.
Delicious slop.
The sloppier, the better.
Yeah,
Make it sloppy, daddy.
But you've told her, right? That this Max was just a monster in disguise? That it was tricking her. Lying?
Of course. I've tried everything, but she won't listen.
But I don't ever ask for my slop to be neater. It's like, this is what it is, right, guys?
It's becoming sigil, too. Sigil magic.
She told her I kidnapped you.
What? You rescued us.
I know. That's not even the worst of it. She told her, I don't want to save the world, I want to end it.
How could she believe that? Because she's stupid as shit. That's how.
No, she's not stupid, Thomas. This monster is incredibly powerful, and she works for the Black Thing. She has corrupted Holly's mind and dragged her out of the light and taken her into the dark.
It's literally a sigil at this point.
Yeah, it's a Trojan horse. You know, got something wrapped up in it, and what's easy to see is the sort of for the time that it was very egregious, the leftist ideology that would be wrapped up in every piece of media that you absorbed, and you can see that slop buried within it. But there are so many layers of slop, and in fact, it makes you wonder, like, is there masterminds of propaganda and agenda that are orchestrating this, or is this really pushed like since it's nothing new under the sun and we're seeing this rise, unironic paganism, people are very much just new versions of the people of antiquity, right? When you're as far as iconography and worshiping these fallen gods in so many different ways, that I have to consider, like, is there just a spiritual agenda?
Concepion nemușcat de șarpe, șarpe, șatre, cu incizi adânci prin cele 7 ceatre. N-au jalbe sacre printre jertfe orfane, într-un precar sedentar plin de jertfe profane.
That is so all-encompassing. And I'm not saying that it's undefeatable or that, like, you know, Satan the adversary is all-powerful and all-knowing, but this is his world, and am not so quick to attribute this level of sophistication to man. You know what I mean? So it's like you would need to, because of the layers of subversive ideology and messaging inside some of these more popular pieces of media, you'd need to attribute that to like this mastermind group of propagandists that are sitting there inserting it into every layer of what you're watching, and then, you know, rubbing their hands together because it's fully realized. And I go, I don't know, man.
I don't know, that people are kind of retarded. You know, and I don't know if we're capable of doing that. I think sometimes going back to that channeling and being inspired, you know, by something that is outside of the physical human experience. I think that's what is to blame sometimes, because it's just like, I mean, if you want to sit back and marvel, you know, pun intended, at the sophistication, like, look, they hit every subversive ideology. There's something in there that is to the detriment of every type of person who watches this, for the children, for the women, for the men, for the gays, for the trans, like whatever your thing is, there's something that will send you further into your downward spiral. Yeah. And at the end of it, it'll leave you standing and applauding in a theater when it's over. Like, it's
Maybe we should just give up and go home then. Go home? To be with our parents. We would all die. What's wrong with you? Shut your trap, dipshit.
Please, let's not turn on each other.
The
resistance.
But there's a chance what most have been programmed to believe is the exact opposite of what's really going on.
Now, here's the thing about Jordan, which is why I called him a faggot. I love this picture, by the way.
Great picture.
Yeah, I mean, quite the traction. Quite the traction here. Well, the thing about Jordan is that, like, all of his stuff is quoted as if, like, I'm just bringing you, you know, Gnostic information that I may or may not believe. It's like, I've seen a little too much from your gay ass to kind of, now I'm assuming what you believe.
Period for lack of knowledge.
Told him the gospel in a gracious way. And
in a way that he could understand.
Yeah, and it wasn't mean. We hadn't gotten mean or nasty during this time, because I'm not going to be like, Jesus Christ is Lord, and this is why you need to understand that, faggot, like, because then you're not going to hear it, right? So I was very cool while I'm explaining all this stuff.
Băiețașul ăsta nu poate să-și țină gura, nici nu contează, nici nu contează. Băiețașul ăsta nici nu contează. Uga buga.
So what ends up happening is I realize he's not hearing it, and I go, hey man, you got to be careful. God has a history of sending a strong delusion to those who are unwilling to see the truth when it's been revealed to them. So it's not just like the truth, you know, is in front of you and you're not going to want. It's like when it's been carefully revealed to you in one way or another, and you're just refusing to see it because you've got hangups.
Yeah,
you got to be careful. And that wasn't like me being a dick. I'm just saying, like, yo, dog, God gives you what you want. If you don't want to see the truth, if you want to be in a lie all the time, God will give you that too. Bro, fucking 24 hours later.
And I here's the thing too. I get it, because I've been there.
Yeah.
And I did that same thing. I never did it to this level. The level that he's doing is like borderline divination.
Will wonders ever cease? Tell me something. If you did get the juice in you, you think that makes you a god, don't you? Seems like I know you pretty well after all.
So the Bible is the story of Jesus Christ, right? And you're asking for 3 hours straight and then a subsequent 24 hours afterwards, all about the Bible.
Yeah.
So you're asking. It's being revealed. You decline all of it, shut it down, mock it. 24 hours later, you're kicked off your fucking show.
It's just so crazy too, because he's like, you guys are snowflakes. And I'm like, yo, dude, like, we answered all your questions. As a matter of fact, I was like, we canceled on the show and then redid it 2 weeks later. And you knew you were going to come in here and do this shit the entire time. So you had an extra 2 weeks, and that's what you asked?
It was all really bad.
It was all like completely juvenile.
So when I was saying, like, there's a lot of thoughts about a dude who appeals to AI, it's like, if you don't have the mental capacity to formulate your own rebuttals, you don't fucking deserve to have any rebuttal.
You smug dick. Always thought you were better than me, didn't you? Jesus.
Yeah, that's it. But this is, what are we dealing with? And now for the rest of the day, I have to deal with Gnostic faggots, which don't bother me as much as they do you. But what does bother me, what really gets my goat, David Corbo, is Christians.
That's true.
Christians bother me.
They do bother you.
Because I think it's kind of like God, how God judges the angels. And this is like a microcosm of what the example of God did with the angels, but the angels should know.
Right.
And when they fuck up, he blaps them.
I don't know, man. I mean,
blap.
You know, it's interesting because when I see Christians, like, there is a whole bunch of them who are completely unaware.
What, you think I'm a fucking joke? Suck my balls. You're the fucking joke. Look at you. On the run like a little bitch. And then I'm with Homelander.
And I think you can get by strictly on just loving the Lord. Like knowing the Lord, loving the Lord.
Yeah, Grandma Max.
But that's not what I feel from a lot of these people. And I used to say this to, hold on, wait.
My wife.
When she was going to Jehovah's Witness meetings and stuff.
Jehovah's Witness class.
I would say that it's very hard to figure out who you are and what your purpose is, where your people are and all this, where you belong, right? It's a hard thing to do in this life. And we're all searching for it in some level. At least I hope so. Because I think if you stop doing that, that's a big shame.
You know, I can see it. Like how terrified you are of it.
But if you have that within you, where do I belong? What am I meant to do? Who are my people? What is my tribe? Adhering to an ideology or a religion makes a lot of that work really easy. Feels like the work is done.
Yep.
So if you join a church, if you join let's say the Jehovah's Witnesses, who are you? You're a Jehovah's Witness. Maybe one of the 144,000. I don't know. Where do you belong? You belong in this kingdom hall. Who is your tribe? The rest of so you could see like all these boxes get checked. And the harsh reality is that's true to a large degree.
Yeah.
And I've been experiencing for the first time being on the other side of that accusation, by the way, because that was an observation I had and I explained to her and I said, these people are just trying to find their people, find an identity. They don't want to do the work. There is work to be done. And I'm not saying it's got to be like inner work, meditative, shadow integration shit. I'm just saying like go out into the world, build something.
Where are you going? I'm gonna go destroy any V1 that I find, you triple crown cock jockey. Why? You don't get it, do you? How much I can't fucking stand you.
On Patreon, you got to call people gay. No, you.
You have to, in some cases, do work, build something. Sometimes the answer is not so grand. It's like, who are you? Well, I'm a parent. I'm raising a member of the next generation, and I do things in my life that aren't concentrated, meaning like we have a show, we put all this stuff together, we're reaching people directly. You could be somebody who is just in tune, touching a life here, touching a life there, influencing something here. That's a little bit different. It's less directed, but it's equally as important. And I think a lot of that answer comes to who are you in Christ? That's, I think, why we have that within us, because we are all called.
I was talking to Matt's friend out there. I forget his name.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
It's such an easy
Yeah, it's like, okay, here's
concept
God.
to grasp.
God seems mad about these guys that did this. You see? What's the problem? God, these guys, they did this.
Yeah.
They rebelled. And then that made God jealous, wrathful, and demand obedience because they rebelled. What's the problem?
I don't know. It's weird. We have all these people who, are self-proclaimed retards, dangerous retards in the chat. They all can follow this. Like, I get it. Yeah.
So keep reading.
We need to end the whole bloody notion of soups. And we need to make it permanent.
Trying to tell these motherfuckers the shit you do ain't real hip-hop. Take that shit home. Product from a sickened environment.
Și atunci absorba ura întreagă în vâltoarea vârtejurilor din gaura neagră. Vărsaur leagă în de tezaur ce leagă prisme din care descin muritorii. Suntem Elohim, discipolitorei. În regim muritorii asud și mă ascund legat strâns de absurd. Cu lanț scurt ceilalți fug. Anotimpul e toamnă și-am tot timpul în palmă. Acronimul ce sfarmă, art continuu ca magma. Scuip spinii ce spinte, că spirite sfinte ținte. Că-s limite simple în instinctele ce-mi sting stigmele în minte. Strict melinite din supernove născare. E amplificarea expansiunii astrale ca stare. Ca atare captare de karma în galantare. Catarale de calvar. Standard al infecțiunii de flux din tartar. Impresiuni în refluxul dimensiunii de sus. Și-s disensiuni în impuls electromagnetic. Deslectogazetic. Cu efect orbanetic și în defect orbatetic. Hermetic în ceruri. Spațiu comprimă spre zero. Ultimul tantum ergo și după saltul spre gol.
Faggot.
Nice and quiet like. Then, right in the middle of Homelanders, lead us in the temptation, deliver us from evil bollocks. It'll spray a fresh pine scent and a big dose of kill juice. Cunt drops dead, forever and ever. Amen.
You don't have to enjoy it so much.
Oh, I beg to differ.
In the space-time continuum, it's like 100 years. It's a second. And we transmit our data up to be able to live next to like these Stargate jump gates that are suns. So because we live so close to these suns, we only have like milliseconds to be alive. So we're actually a hive organism that keeps transmitting up to the next species in our hierarchical system and then down below us. So we're alive right now in this continuum, and we're trying to progress and make things better. And the elites are trying to make sure that we don't dial into that incredible knowledge we've got as a species and basically die as a species, so that we're not competitors on the next level, as the Bible says, of the interdimensional plane.
The God particle, Armageddon weapons in my arsenal. I'm the real deal, fucking Alex Jones article. Salutations, standing over body salivating. Was kicked out of hell cause I wouldn't bow to Satan. I'm the boss, I turn your albums off. I turn your brain to applesauce. My wingspan is like an albatross.
But you don't believe that, good. But you don't believe that, you're just saying that's what they believe.
Oh yes, exactly. I don't believe in anything.
What do you believe?
No, I mean, I believe in research.
Right. So the problem is that people that, so they're calling me retarded. Like somebody was like, they responded to me after I tweeted this, and they go, oh, like you're a low IQ retard. You can't understand what he's saying. I'm like, no. So
that's not the point.
First, but it's also not the point. It's like, man, I'm a low IQ retard. I'm like, I'm sitting in my fucking house on 10 acres. I'm 3D modeling images that I have drawn.
Right. I'm engaging with these complicated systems, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to all this stuff that you're doing, the laser machine, a 3D printer, all this crap. Like,
by all accounts, a very successful person dabbling with things that I should have no means doing. I'm a truck driver, but you're calling me an idiot because I'm looking at these words and then telling you these words, number one, don't mean anything, but number two, if you look into them, what he's actually saying is horrific.
Unde știi tu că habar n-ai? Păi spuneți-mi în ce constă. Păi nu este adevărat. Și mai bine ca voi toți. Și ca toți finanțiști, și ca toți miniștri, și ca toți. Domnule Beck. Ciao, la revedere.
Horrific. You're just too stupid to see it. And what he's actually saying is God messed up. That's it. And I have it figured out. This is what happened here.
I think
no.
Pornesc cu dreptul, închei cu stângul. Lovesc cu dreapta, nici nu mă feresc de stângul tău lejer. Ochii sunt deșeuri, oasele drajeuri care ți traseu. Pentru cine pula mea dansezi, care-ți menul.
You want to read this for me?
Okay, I'll read it for you. Go ahead, put it up on the stage. So this is Jordan Crowder. Jordan says,
who's Jordan Crowder?
He's a new age dude. We had him on the show at one point, and he was talking about 3i Atlas, and
it was actually kind of fun.
It was a great episode.
No, you didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. They're like, this guy's talking about outer space. It's gay. I was like, it is gay. Also, no blocked.
You got to kind of like let people. Not everybody's going to be on everything. You know what I mean? So if you go like, if you're going to say outer space for the sake of conversation, I'm going to let it slide.
Go ahead. Sometimes you be cooking gay shit.
Aliens or demons. Okay, define demon. Most say fallen angel. No. Beings that oppose God. I mean, but it doesn't matter. It's
most say.
Some say.
Here's the problem.
And then he goes, cool, define God. Usually they mean the God of the Bible, Yahweh. But that God is portrayed as jealous, wrathful, demanding obedience, punishing rebellion. So now we have a problem because the demons and fallen angels are rebels, challengers of authority, bringers of knowledge. See Genesis, Enoch, and Eden.
This guy drank the knowledge.
The serpent in Eden didn't say worship me. It taught humans they can become like God through knowledge. And God.
No, first off, I do have a problem.
To me, it's not a discussion, it's invisible chess. And if the vodka not rushing, it ain't hitting the chest. I can talk about drugs, gun, dead and your shit. I can talk about the Torah and dimensional shifts. The power of the Almighty is what's sent through my lips. The power of the Almighty when the sentinel shifts.
From a Christian.
Okay.
Good question. worth asking yourself. There is enough space for your voices to share without involving either of your resentment or the other's beliefs. Fuck, dude.
Is that what we're called to do?
I don't know, but I'm like, hey, our beliefs are in direct opposition to each other. He thinks the God of all creation is an evil tyrant who trapped us in a prison planet. I think he's a smelly hippie who sells self-help books to the mentally challenged.
Sells self-help books on the seashore?
Where is there room to agree?
Right.
And I'm asking genuinely, is there room here to agree? Because what
does a believer have in common with a non-believer? Right.
Fiecare merge la sigur oricât ar dura. Trebuie să fie teritorială târătura, pentru că față de spațiu timpul se schimbă într-una.
This is wizardry, bro. This is wizardry. You're casting spells, and the spell's goal is to just convince people to follow you.
Yeah.
Follow me. I'm the one who knows this situation. And which is really wild, because the more I look into scripture, the more Jesus Christ makes it unbelievably simple.
Yeah.
It makes it all very simple. There is things that are in the grace of God, and there are things that are in the opposition to God and the opposition to humanity. Those things are demonic by nature. Doesn't matter, though. The game that they play, we've been liberated from. Not by works, not by adherence to the law, but because of grace through faith. We have faith in God. We have faith in Jesus Christ, that he came and paid the way for us, and we get salvation. It's very simple. Whereas the other side is incredibly legalistic and retarded.
Învățați să joc cu mic și să trag de timp, știi ce zic? Urechile mele sunt sateliți, ochii mei sunt scanere, am lasere în ochiul minții. Frate, tușesc tuși, de-aia am negri dinții. Am mințit, e din aur rezidual dentiția. M-a sluțit pe sufletel poliția, mi-am păstrat credința, știi ce zic? Eu n-am găsit, am construit portița pe care am intrat în rap ca să vă depășiți condiția.
Modern Christians are unknowingly inculcated with a Neoplatonist and Gnostic perception of the cosmos. That's not even the first sentence. There's a comma after that.
Many modern Christians, without realizing it, have adopted a way of thinking influenced by older philosophies.
Okay. Adhering to a dualism in created order, which imagines the material world as separate and inferior to the spiritual realm.
Stop. This view separates reality into two parts, the physical world and a higher spiritual world. Continue.
Inhabited by disembodied beings.
It treats the physical world as less important while seeing the spiritual realm filled with non-physical beings.
Can you get that reduced to one sentence?
More real. Yeah, let's see this. Just make into one sentence.
Because there's a way to distill this. And isn't that what the goal is to distill information?
Here we go. This is what he should have said. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tweet it. Fuck him.
What did it say?
Many modern Christians unknowingly adopt a belief that splits reality into a lesser physical world and a higher, more important spiritual world filled with non-physical beings. Actually,
that's pretty simple.
Again, what the fuck are you saying?
You said nothing. You said nothing. It is what I said.
Dacă eu nu fac rap și la cap nu sunt zdravă, n-acum o sugi, asculți un cântec de leagă, n-am aruncat o vorbă, dar dacă n-ajunge...
I'm not even going to tweet because it's just so dumb.
I said, this nigga is addicted to trying to sound profound. He doesn't want people to understand. He wants to be perceived as an intellectual and an authority. The more I see, the more I'm convinced he's just a cringy faggot. That is really where I'm at these days.
Yeah.
It's like you're not contributing anything of value to the conversation. You're just muddying the waters so that really low IQ people will look at you and go, wow, profound.
Wow, look at those words.
What a wizard.
Ce vrei tu nu e rap, e popo gay hop, e plin radio de fraieri de top, e plin de raperi feminați cu suflet de mop, ce-au devenit pentru copii eroi de laptop. Vocea mea dulce nu te lasă să dormi, dă-mă la maxim în box, se ascultă și...
You know, we're blockading the blockade, bro. Like, what strategy are we talking about here? You know, it's so obvious that this was a designed kind of consequence, right? And
the Republicans ain't shit, the Democrats ain't shit. What make you think that either side is ever going to change shit?
I think it's just the true underlying power structure is just far too complicated for most of the general public to even comprehend, honestly. But it leads to people just viciously and violently almost defending these political puppets, right? These actors.
I don't think that it's too complicated for them to understand, because I'm an idiot and I understand it. I think the real tragedy that they're committing is that they don't want to understand it. And when you willingly choose to not learn the truth, know the truth, believe the truth, you're a faggot of monumental
You're
proportion.
dancing with the devil at the very least.
You know what I mean? Fuck this. I ain't talking politics no more. Instead, I walk in your office and shit on your floor.
It's like, dude, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a moron. I'm a high school dropout. I get what's going on. And the only difference between me and somebody else is that I'm willing to see it. I'm willing to look at it and go, okay, if you're not willing
There's
to.
a lot of smart high school dropouts.
Touche.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, never stepped a single foot on a megalithic structure. And I'm gonna leave that right there, okay?
Well, you're a piece
but
of shit for that.
all I'm saying is it's not like this information is beyond our grasp. It is the willingness
You're
to
told,
abstain from loving the truth.
I think it's a matter of programming as well, and rejecting your programming through the obvious conditioning that all of us have experienced from day one inherently through the public education system at the very least.
Nu pe bune, cine poate să asculte funk, be? Mai bine e alcoolic, că e alcoolic funk, be. Chiar că tu bea potgorii, nu-i călit funk, be. Bro, tu încă asculti funk, be? Chiar ai răbdare să-l asculti? Boring as fuck, gen, ce-i cu tine? N-ai și tu o viață sau ceva, gen? Nu ieși în oraș, gen, să bei ceva, gen? O baboline, ceva, fumezi ceva, gen? Nu vrei să uiți că existi, că simți ceva, gen? Orice, dar să nu fie ce simți deja, gen? Și dacă nu ți-o dă prost, ești cel mai gen.
Arthur Bro said, how do I know all this stuff? Bro, I guess what they call autodidactic? I don't know. I'm interested in this stuff. I was a computer science major going into school. I ended college with a telecommunications degree. I didn't think I was working in the industry that I majored in. Turns out I'm interested in this stuff because when I read into it and I go, holy smokes, you guys, I think they're lying to us again. I think that they're hiding some seriously advanced technology. And from what I'm coming to find out, as I back up and I start to just chew on this person's work for a few months, chew on this person's work for a few months, chew on this person's work, I come back to the table and I'm going, you guys, there's experts all around, but y'all experts need to start talking to each other because they done compartmentalize everything and everybody's playing catch up to the game, including me. I just found out about this wide body area network about a year ago. They've been working on it for 100 years. I only found out about it a year ago. Bringing me back to my little diagram.
Hey, is it worth it?
Oh yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough.
Yeah. Că să fii așa șmecher are un cost. Spuneam că eu sunt Don Vasilescu, a.k.a. Pelemetrei ca despot. Iar mă întrebați de unde le scot.
What concord hath Christ with Belial, or what part hath he that believeth
with the infidel?
With an infidel. And look, so it's like
great word. Infidel is another insult that I
do
should
not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership can righteousness have with wickedness?
Mm-hmm.
What fellowship
Shout
does
out
light
Fred
have
Durst.
with darkness? What agreement can exist between the temple of God and idols? That's right there. What agreement? Can we just agree to disagree? Can we put our things aside? What agreement can exist between the temple of God and idols?
At the very least, what I can do is watch you say gay shit for a while and go, I'm not really going to entertain you.
Yeah.
But then at some point,
well, when you pipe up and you go, you make this big post and you go,
I've been waiting for you to cross the line, and you did, and I slapped you. Like
Right.
a good father would do. You call me daddy.
Right.
Just call me daddy.
Say thank you, daddy.
Yeah, yeah. Chalk it up to a loss. And move on.
It's hard, man.
Move on with your
It's
gay
hard.
self.
Te uiți la mine, frate, parcă-ți trebuie subtitrare. Încă ești în căutare, atunci răbdare. Beau coniac din vase capilare, ce culoare. Șobolanii ei sunt mari ca niște capibare. Pasta scris-o în troleu când atârnam de pare.
Because I struggle with it too. It's like how extreme am I supposed to be? Because if you're reading this, it's
Extreme,
like pretty
bro.
extreme. It's supposed to be end of world extremist, right? I mean, it's
Dog, I am homeschooling my children while I'm doing this. This is extreme. Top is too extreme.
I was talking to
I'm teaching my kids how to read.
So I made this post and I said, you know, NDS is a very unique show. And basically what I was getting at is like, we're very polarizing.
It's
you
the
can
best
tell
show.
It's the best show in my opinion, but you can tell how polarizing we are by the passion of our haters and also the people that love this show. You do not feel indifferent about NDS.
You know exactly what I'm saying.
But what's really remarkable about that is beyond, look, you could say it's because of the rhetoric, it's because of the really hard stances, it's because of this and that. When we are polarizing people, we fuck people up in their minds. They get all fucked up about us.
All blapped up.
They get all blapped up about us, right? When we go home, we're literally just hanging out with children.
I'm yelling at my kids.
I'm watching something with my wife.
I'm yelling at my wife.
We're walking through TJ Maxx, have a little stroll through Ross.
Had a fight with my wife last night.
Which
tell you
one's
about
better?
It. You tell me which one. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Truman, let's go home. What did you just say?
Nothing, just had a little deja vu. I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me.
Și e ciudat că dacă vreau să iasă bine iese prost, dar dacă aș vrea să iasă prost că aș fi idiot, nu? Scot albume gratis pentru lume simplă, știi? Toți sunt sărați până îl vezi în oglindă.
But somebody came into my Telegram and asked me, they said, Sabrina, they said that you're selling things on your Facebook. And I said, what are you talking about? Well, I forwarded the same wearables that they do all the time that they talk about on the daytime talk shows and run commercials for your family members who tell you you're a whack job for knowing that the connectivity to the cloud for our systems of healthcare 4.0, etc. That's it. Didn't think anything of it until this person came on the Telegram. So now that they can't get away with what they have been poking at, now their big grift is, she's making all this money. Nope, you little whiny bitch.
Și mai rău acum caută răspunsuri fără dovezi, forme fără fond.
În fond, dacă ai vrea să dialoghezi,
Nu-i pont că ADD-ul lor nediagnosticat îi face să nu poată să urmărească un om până la cap dacă vorbește. Apoi dacă îi le mai dă și rimat, apoi dacă are și mai multe sensuri, te doare capul.
Da me down, bro, da me down, da me down.
Wanna get down on this?
I mean, this is not just some sort of verbal exercise. This is like they're literally having to talk to a part of themselves that got so separated that it's its own thing now.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. So like what you're talking about forking, I'm just thinking about like
splitting,
dissociative division. I mean, even the sexual reference itself is basically psychosis is about division.
Yeah,
it's about
something's getting divided. We're uniting, so but while someone's getting divided. But you're right. So what I learned etymologically is that phonics, the sound, when I say t, b, k, s, p, like all those have energetic shapes cymatically, and all the old languages were built on just taking the actual energy you're saying when you say a word and making that functionally equivalent to what the function of what you're trying to do. So English is this new thing where it's like we have homonyms. You can say sun and sun and mean two different things, red, red, and red, and you mean three different things with the same phonics, the same physical sounds. And what I learned is that English is hiding some of the older rules. Like it's essentially, deceiving you in real time, having you say and mean things cymatically in the world that you don't necessarily associate with the definition of what you're saying. And forking is a good example of that, because when you're talking in computer terms, a parent process is just a primary process that ends up dissociating the terminal and the user into this separate process called a daemon. And I just remember being like, why does this overlap across human psychology so one-to-one? Like, this is supposed to be computer stuff. Why could you walk into some like SRA counselor's office and essentially have the same conversation and they're not into computers?
Yeah, that's what's so wild about it is like you're saying this process forks and the thing that splits off is the demon.
Yeah.
And this is what happens to people's mouths.
Exactly.
This stuck energy with their own consciousness and life force that's now in its own little bubble, its own thing. But because it's so deficient and incomplete in itself, it can often act very demonically.
Right.
And I think a lot of what people think they have, demonic attachments or demonic possession or whatever, I think a lot of times it's their own, if not all the time, it's their own life force energy divided inside itself and creating like a an alter ego there that's like got some bad influence on you because it's messed up.
And it's got some trauma it's dealing with that maybe it absorbed so you didn't have to deal with. Because that's what I always
learned. It
learned.
happens for a good reason.
Yeah, exactly. It's a function of survival. It's just unprocessed. It becomes this other monster. And so
become it so that it can handle its process invisibly in the background.
Exactly.
Just like in the computer.
Just like in the computer.
Nu o să poți să te simți, bro. Ai fost domesticit cu pesticid. Îți place aurul, te agiți sau rămâi cu argint. O inimă de piatră nu poate asimți. La fel cu soarele, torii nu poate asfinți. Ce povești vorbești cu aia, nu prea se înțelege ce faci, parcă sufri munci în ploaie.
I call it a quasi-dimension. I love your take on the way that this cosmos is set up. But if we're talking very basic Crayola colors here, we live in this 3D world. If you're at all alive, you might be willing to admit that somewhere there's a 4D or 5D or a 2D or 1D aspect to this world where we interface in this nexus we generally call the 3D. I think that what this biodigital convergence is and the internet at large is about creating a mezzanine dimension. This dimension within the dimension, a managed quasi-dimension, mirror, like in silico dimension. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's in a physical 3D body or computer server in some server farm, some data center. But so it's in the 3D, but it's this digital energy, complete in a box energy concept that is so real to people, it might as well be real. And then as soon as you pair that digi-twin and their placental mimicry of it, even if you're just garnering it wirelessly or recreating it or using the placenta or the cord blood or whatever, however they're pervasively setting up this system, again, that's why I think they wanted the injectin, because that creates not the stem cells, but the ribonucleic acid instructions for the deoxyribonucleate to keep generating the pervasive link without them having to send the signal from the transmission in. It can just be sent from you. So it was all these several conversations where I finally was like, hold on, you guys. If a computer is just energy running through silicon, carbon, nitrogen wafers, that instructions are derived through programming conversations. You're talking about 802.11.6. These standards bodies, when I say standards, I'm talking about the International Telecommunications Union, the ITU, like the IEEE. Like people might be familiar with the FDA and CDC as it relates to drugs, food, things like that. Most people are not familiar with the IEEE as it relates to electronics. Maybe you've heard of the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, but that's about transmission of electronic signals, not the physical electronic devices themselves. Yes, they have to, interface so that the radios are ratified. But the point is the IEEE deals with stuff that don't even deal with radio frequency. It's just electronic. But again, that's why I think this conversation is so fascinating to me, because I do see it as this evolving mezzanine dimension where they don't really know. It's like it's kind of uncharted territories as far as this synthetic omniscience is going. And it only works within the box, because as soon as you hop out that's what the Matrix is showing us. Like inside the box, Agent Smith, it does control the conversation. You can Neo your way around it, but it's still a challenge. However, you can also just wake up out the pink jelly, take the stuff off, and take the thing out your head. And the only difference is that it's wireless. It's not a big Ethernet cord in the back of your cerebellum. But there's other than that one change in the metaphor, it's basically exactly like the movie.
I love that you're calling it a mezzanine dimension, because the word meso, or mezzo in Italian, meso in the Greek, it means middle. Because that's what a mezzanine is. It's like a floor between the floors.
Between the floors.
Right? So you're literally talking about a middleman universe.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's the middle verse.
The middle verse.
Because Kazakhstan is big. Throw transport down the well. Come on! So my country can be free. So my country can be free. We must make travel easy. Then we have a big party. And my country there is problem, and that problem is the
A lot of people aren't aware that within plants and the roots of plants and trees that there's 5 growth hormones, and they're auxins, cytokines, gibberellins, ethylene, and abscisic acid. And these particular growth hormones, they determine how tall the plant sprouts before it starts budding leaves, how big the leaves are, how big the stems are that produce the leaves, how deep the roots grow, how thick the actual stem is. All those different things that have programmed instructions through chemical hormones. Anyone that understands genetics, you're very familiar with this already. If you're not, I'm giving you a very, very small crash course in the idea of how genetics works. And it's through, your RNA and DNA, but also it's implemented through your chemical receptors of growth hormones. So this is where, right off the bat, the angels are genetically manipulating their offspring. This is why, we'll go back to the verse real quick. This is why it says, they taught them charms and enchantments, and then the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And the next sentence is, and they, that's the women, became pregnant and bare great giants. They had great kids as giants. This is why it's being told to you in that order. It's telling you what they're doing. We just have to know what the definitions of the words are that's being used in that passage in Enoch chapter 7. This is the biology behind the idea of what cutting roots means. And it's a manipulation of growth hormones.
Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you put it in your food?
I've eaten it, yeah.
Is it recommended for a human to eat it? Will a human grow 20 to 30% bigger and quicker?
Well, I have 6 different doctors, including Andy Kaufman and a few others that you might know, that are actually testing it as a binder. Because whenever you go to the hospital, if you go to the hospital and you're under toxic shock, they're going to give you something called activated carbon. Activated carbon is biochar.
Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
they have
So
this stuff.
They give that to you because biochar or activated carbon has a net negative charge. It absorbs everything with a net positive charge. Anything that's toxic in your GI tract or any animal's GI tract has a positive charge. That's called a free radical. Free radicals, reactive oxygen species, they all have a net positive charge. The biochar hoovers that all into the center of it, and it has so much surface area it can neutralize it.
Got it. So meaning you can drink it, but do you recommend that people drink it? Or is it kind of still in the testing phase?
I can't make any recommendations to anybody. I'll tell you what I do. I make a toothpaste out of it because biochar is also an incredible cleaner, even though it's black.
It's like activated charcoal in that way?
It is activated charcoal.
Okay, got it. Like you mentioned.
But let's define terms. Activated charcoal is a misnomer.
Okay.
Because if it's charcoal, it can't be activated.
Like sovereign citizen. If
what
you're
they're
a citizen,
saying,
you can't be sovereign.
Exactly. So activated, you can have activated carbon, which is biochar, or you can have charcoal.
Which is unactivated carbon?
It's unactivated and it's a different charge.
Got it.
So charcoal has a net positive charge. So what it ends up doing is, other than acting as something that builds body and soil and allows for good drainage, it actually depletes the soil of what it is that you want to make it to the plant.
In terms of activated charcoal, you mean?
No, I said charcoal.
Charcoal. Got it.
No, activated carbon, which is biochar, has the opposite charge.
Got it.
And so therefore it's distributing all the good things that the plant needs.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's kind
because
of,
we started this whole conversation off with polarity, and just so people know, I'm a professional polarity therapist. Polarity matters, negative or positive matter. Biochar is negative. That means it absorbs the positive. Charcoal is positive, which means it absorbs the negative. In nature, just as a general rule of thumb, you want to distribute the negative charge and you want to absorb
the positive
charge.
Got it.
Pe timp de common spirit pretinde cor de spin Pe tic pe cor deschis perfect vector destin Și nu din dragoste, deși am iubit cândva Balanța sentimentală e un subtil cântar Vocea subit cântate vreme pe vreme de ploi Și avea urme de noroi verde pe venele moi Monștri dominând proștii, leproșii, cristoșii Copiii noștri toți știri printre
Well, if
oștiri
we look up the actual word and where it's used in the Hebrew passages, since we actually have a lexiconical definition for it in multiple different scriptures, we can see that enchantments actually comes from the root word of latim, meaning it's something that's covered or muffled up, or a secret act or a trick. And the application of that word is used in Exodus 7 and 8 multiple times. And this is kind of like when Pharaoh's magicians did what they did in front of Aaron. The second option for this Hebrew term that we see in scriptures for enchantments is the rendering of the Hebrew keshafim, which means muttered spells or incantations or rendered or sorcery.
Clone păzite de drone cu camere, programe și virus și probe de ADN, prelevate, comparate datele, viermi care poartă boli, astea sunt armele, code bare tatuate îmi acoperă palmele, știu un rapper a votat cu PNL cu PSD, la oare sta când i-au găsit pozele cu nozene.
Okay, this is clicking now because I kind of needed a bit of a recap to understand the connection at the electrical level. So what I'm essentially hearing from you is that the amount of use cases and application that a very highly concentrated carbon-rich derivative of any biomass, cooked, pyrolyzed down to the raw carbon in its completely negative ionic state, can not only absorb all your free radicals, but just be the baseline in any carbon-based engine that's both human body or plant body. To kind of so carbon, like every person's nutrient isn't carbon. I guess, what is the carbon? So I understand the idea of sprinkling in the chicken feed, but from a plant or gardening standpoint, the carbon is allowing water to retain in the ground. The carbon is acting in the same way that otherwise fertilizer hydrocarbons are acting.
It's not acting in the same way. It's doing what the fertilizer is trying to imitate. So the fertilizer is imitating nutrients. It's imitating something that, here's nutrients in the soil, so now you may grow. That type of thing. That's what's happening with modern plants. And then therefore that's what's happening with the modern body.
And diet.
Când sisteme financiare create din datorie nu mai pot ține în picioare parte din lăcomie. Perea aglomerată, buimacă ca un gavor matol. Ăștia creează otrăvurilor matcă în laborator. Așa că-mi strâng provizii, n-am instinct în turmă. Pun masca de gaze sub glugă și intru în bunker. Problema mea e și a ta. Ascultă bro, că cred nu mai departe decât dincolo. Avem cu toții sute de impresii. Avem cu toții interferențe să trăim tot restul vieții. Bine bro.
Personally, where do you stand on what I just said? Because again, we're hitting that apple, right? We're hitting it from the back, from the sides. Blap. But that is a very true fact. If you don't watch Joe Rogan, you're not exposed to the float tank. You might not experiment with DMT. You might not talk to entities and demons and go down this whole pathway that we're talking about of chaos and disorder. If you don't watch Joe Rogan as well, there are some helpful things that might have been inserted in there that you can take little pieces, little gems. I don't know how you feel about just ivermectin or things like that. There might be things that you would miss that would help you on the way. So it's like you have your head buried firmly in the sand and you know nothing that's going on, or you know some or all of it. I don't know.
For me personally, that is a tricky question, and it's one I've been tackling. Is when I discovered the depth at which this chaos, this Discordian cult has kind of integrated its fingers into every aspect of our culture, and just how for a long time I felt like I was causing more problems by saying, hey, check out this.
What is it?
A deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something.
It was only because I was aware that people were moving in this direction in lockstep, and that was an alarm to me, and so I think a lot of people are about to get wrapped up in that. You had a discussion with Jake Shields where you asked him, you're like, where does this go?
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot of the question that a lot of people need to be asked.
A question is also after that, was he even being truthful with me? When I asked him, I was like, great, you did all this, you have this audience, you're doing this thing now what? You know? Like, you got all this stuff. What are you going to do with it? And he was like, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. And I was like, that's really stupid. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I don't know. Not my business.
The primitive Baptists, they believe you can't get to heaven unless you wash your feet, but that's all now. I tell you that's all. But you better have Jesus. I tell you that's all.
But on the other side,
you guys, do you have an ultimate goal in mind?
So
now, man, we just go with the flow, bro.
No, I mean, it's like, obviously, if you have, this is what I would like. When you're close up to Nephilim Death Squad and you're looking at it intimately, it looks as though there's a lot of chaos going on, and there's nuggets of good and there's moments of concern, sure, that we're trying to work on. But I would hope that from a 1,000-foot overview, it's a big arrow that points to Christ. Like, I don't want anything but to move along and redirect to Christ, to just point in that direction. And that's why, even the idea of this being a conspiracy show, like we're unraveling mysteries and such, that's also not the goal here. That's why I try to approach most of conspiracy with fun, because I'm not trying to really lean on my own understanding. You'll see me hypothesize and theorize and say, what if, and this is interesting, and draw connections and such. But ultimately, I'm never going to be an authority on any of these topics. I'm not going to claim that I have answers outside of Jesus Christ.
You mean you're not going to bring your supernatural receipts?
No, I'm not going to bring any supernatural receipts. I don't want to be an authority. I'm grateful for whatever amount of people watch this show and derive value from it. And I'm super grateful for when people will message us and they'll say, hey, this show has helped my walk, with Christ. I go, that's amazing. That's the number one thing. And of course, grateful that I get to have any part in that. Finding purpose in God.
The air that previously surrounded me was now an ocean, still totally invisible except for minor pieces of debris. The Mr. Fish pushed up to the glass and he looked just like me. My whole world spun around, I didn't understand, but I realized I was no longer a man. So I thought about what he said and asked him what was going on, and he said, you didn't know it, but you were the fish all along. He said, congratulations, you did it, you broke free. You're just a fish, like the rest of humanity. Now it took me a long time to get adjusted to this tank, but now I know what I am, and so to that man I give thanks. I've always lived inside this glass box that reminds him of his head. It just goes to show you that your mind is your own monster. Reality's what you make it, and if you take it away, you're just a fish like me, swimming in the powdered water.
The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location.
This show has been like a very rough sketched outline of what we're trying to get out and what we're how we're moving with our life and what we're building. The show that Matt does, I'm grateful for, because it is a more hard, direct line of what I want to point at. But I'm also fully aware that when you're preaching to somebody, for lack of a better term, if I'm trying to preach the gospel to somebody, I can't just be like, here, man, swallow that. You're not gonna take it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna want that. But we can ease you in and then go, okay, you like that? Now I'm going to hit you hard with this thing.
Unde-s nebunii? Unde nici nebunii? E toată lumea plină de cumiți. E plin pământul de martiri și sfinți, atinși de filoxera înțelepciunii. Tăcută-i cloata de înțelepți ca sfinxul în fața lumii și a nemărginirii. Și ascultător de rânduiala firii, cu un plăfan în juc trudești de insul. Scâncesc cu minți în chingile durerii și sângerând în răni adânci plândețe. Lângă neveste mor de bătrânețe, necutesând să tragă spada vrerii.
And what's different about a human body? Just an ancient set of programming conversations, and when you put food or fuel, it converts it to energy or breath, oxygen, like literally all these different forms of energy. And we take information, we filter it, and we process it. It started to basically get me as a computer kid to realize, holy smokes, I think that they reverse engineered the human body and built a computer to work just like it. That was where my mind was at first.
That's it, dude. It's all technology is a plagiarization of nature.
Of nature, exactly.
And then
100%.
we get it backwards. A lot of people, and they're like, it's a simulation, because they see how similar
it is.
Their body and mind work to a computer, and they're like, oh wow, we're just like computers. No, bro, computers are
just like
you,
us.
Right?
Exactly.
Even a lot of, again, back to biofield tuning, I see it all the freaking time. Even a lot of the issues with people's physiology, how their body is handled and stuff, in a way that is below its potential threshold, it comes back to these type of beliefs that they've held on in their subconscious, and they're very if-then conditional statements, and that's how computing.
It's all if-then statements. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're like, all my synapses are firing at all cylinders because I'm kind of going, you get it. Yes, exactly. We are this computer. So imagine if the marketing has just been all about inverting it, saying computers are better, saying we're faster and better when we have them in or on or part of our lives. It was just a personal computer. Now it's an iPad, a phone, a business phone, a watch, maybe an Oura Ring, maybe some Ray-Ban Meta glasses. It's like 7, 8 different things hanging off your body that all have the ability to connect to the internet.
Pe unde merg mă reprezintă neamul. Nu toți ochii văd la fel cum am văzut noi planul. Nu toate urechile aud la fel instrumentalul. Din 23 pe centru ca animalul. Sunt pentru oraș ca pentru ocean coralul. Fiecare piesă falul ce picea de făr la mal. Sticla mea e pentru mine că am ferit o dăs. Nu știi care spun că gândesc mult prea radical.
So I have a specific way that I looked at the world previously and the interest that I came through, and I can kind of turn back and look at that path and at people that are coming down it and say, hey man, this is cool and all, but this is what I realized. It's really about Christ.
More from new age
kind of. I was never a practitioner of anything, but these were the things that I gave my attention to.
I study all that stuff.
And like I said, and even study for me is like, that's a stretch. I spent a long time, I guess you can call it research, but I'm not the guy that's going to sit down and take notes and get into dusty old tomes. I'm just taking in a ton of information. Some of it sticks around, some of it doesn't, and it informs my worldview. And I think that's actually pretty common. There's a lot of people that are like that. And so I just get to speak to them. And, I'm not for maybe like a regular Christian might look at me and go, this guy's an asshole and an idiot. And I go, man, your walk is your own. But I got people that I am picking up and they are pointing towards Christ. And that's great.
Come in because my background is disaffected Christian, was going to the church, was kicked out for talking back to the pastor. So I understand that world, that reality really well. Like I grew up in it, came out of it, ended up in a crazy place, like, dabbling in comedy. But now I'm able to, again, look back and talk to that group of people. So that's great. I can't talk to David's group of people. They drive me crazy.
It's funny because we get mad at our respective groups. Like he will get mad at a Christian who is
like the Orthodox Church. Like I'm like, this is offensive because I look at it and it resembles kind of like what I went into and went out of.
It's so obvious. I mean, I worry about stuff like this because there's Catholics that I like a lot,
Devil's moving everywhere, motherfucking shapeshift. The gem star gonna get his body on the face. Your head is over the mantle, and you don't know nothing, and knowing is half the battle. You a Kappa, and a Kappa is a thing I denounce. Here's a free shot for you, homie. Drinks on the house.
And I feel a certain guilt when I'm online going after the teachings of Rome and the architecture and the vestments and the rituals.
Yeah.
Because they're so obviously what they are. I mean, look at the serpent architecture.
Oh yeah.
It just,
what do they have? The viper? I don't know what it's called, but it's a room that it's the head of a viper behind the
inside and out.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of Catholics will argue that's just a distortion from a fisheye lens. It only looks that way because of your camera angle. It's like, hey, look at it from the exterior, please.
Yeah.
Please. But just look at St. Peter's Basilica, this opulent, Middle Ages structure. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of artwork.
Sure.
But what's that got to do with Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
I think you're too caught in the world that you used to be in, and it
Can I go back to asking you a question about your Bible?
Yes, if you want to.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you. I didn't hurt, did it?
A little bit. It was it says here the verse that I was looking at that day was not this. I can't actually.
I can't actually find the verse that I had that day, but this is good enough.
Nu se mai nasc de bun care s-o mâne cu pâta de la spate. Ca pofită acestui vers să-i pună dinamită și evul înțelepciunii să-l dărâme. O, Doamne, Doamne, unde-s Don Quixoții? E lumea plină de al de Sancho Pancea, ce nu îndrăznesc să mânuiască lancea, ci scutieri cu minți se vor cu toții. Unde-s nebunii, unde-s machitonii? Să tragă spada și să taie nodul. Tânjește după glorie norodul și nu-și cesar să treacă rupiconii. Stopoate lume, Doamne, nebunia, s-o răvășească și să o răstoarne. Ca un perpec să ia pământul în coarne și acestui veac să-i surpe temelia.
I have a hunch, and this is a hunch. I can't confirm nor deny, but my hunch is that, let's just say, 5,000 or 10,000 of this future human exists. And they come through special projects, special families. It's not limited to one bloodline, but, it's definitely concentrated across a couple. And people such as Elon Musk, such as Ray Kurzweil, even maybe you can make the case for Bezos, not from like a brainiac standpoint, but just from like he's obviously there for a reason standpoint. Futurama, Family Guy, all these shows are really like, I don't know, man. They're tipping their hat in this the patterns seems that they're always more accurate than less accurate with the predictions.
It's hard to say because that can just come through creative people. Like real creativity does give you a portal to almost prophecy and reality. Or, like The Simpsons is something else, right? But Futurama, I might give a pass, at least the later episodes when it's just its real fans and not like on Fox anymore.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm splitting hairs here.
It's to say that The Simpsons is obviously something else. And whether or not the Futurama team is in the same, like I really see it as a club. Having worked in Hollywood, I've seen it. It's like the filmmakers are talented artists who can just bring stuff down, and the Brotherhood members recognize that. So they tap certain ones and they elevate certain ones. And so it's not like, hey, we're giving you this crazy script. It's kind of like, here's a couple things that are off the books. Sign this NDA and then come up with some ideas. And then the shadow people are the people who make sure that one gets greenlit. This one, okay, fast track this one, put this one through, get all the big names on this one. So it's like this, it's almost like coaching and recruiting behind.
And it's like a big farm. And then when they see a crop of something being created that it has you can say genetic markers that they're looking for in what they're growing, then they're like, water that one, give that one extra fertilizer. Let's make this one pop off. Right.
Exactly.
And
precisely.
So it's like, that's really interesting. So it's not quite as controlled. Like you have to do exactly this. It's like, hey,
you should be able to recognize this stuff instantaneously. Houston, we have a problem here.
Yeah.
You guys aren't who you say you are.
It's very frustrating when you come up against that and you try to make what seems to be a very obvious argument. Like, what is this?
And it's not to say that there are not actual people of God.
Correct.
In the Catholic Church. The same with Eastern Orthodoxy. They're there because these are the people who actually love and seek for and want to serve the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And despite of the things that these institutions are teaching, they might be okay anyway, but only despite, not because of.
Mm-hmm.
So the doctrinal teachings and the confusing rituals and the liturgies, what are you doing?
That's an interesting distinction that you've made there, in spite of, not because of.
Can I help? I have an appointment at Gable Enterprise. They were blessed. What's happening?
So dovetailing off of the work that Sabrina does and the other focus that I've spent in terms of like the Internet of Bodies, Internet of Things side of the conversation, do you see any aspect of the wireless sensor networks and the smart dust, in addition to the things like the hydrogels and whatever magnetoferritin or graphene or anything that might be in the atmospheric spraying, that's affecting the soil? Maybe, I guess maybe the fertilizer too, but maybe that's, I guess my question is there any aspect of the biodigital convergence components that you see as this agricultural assault that you maybe haven't discussed so far today?
I see it as a sterilization.
Okay, got it.
And so for me, that's why I really, really impress upon people the reason why we want carbon is because carbon brings life.
And bacteria in particular. There are apartments for the bacteria.
That's what I mean. The microbes are like if you any terrainologist will tell you, if you were to totally
take the microbes,
sanitize your body and like take all the microbes away, you'd be dead.
Invite the bacteria and therefore the nutrients back into what I grow. And I don't need to worry about what's happening with the Strait of Hormuz in order to do that. Because if you do start paying attention to what's happening with the Strait of Hormuz, what you'll find is that somebody somewhere is pushing a button or a series of buttons to make it extremely likely that that is going to create a problem for your food supply. At the very least, your fertilizer supply, if not your entire gas production and everything down the chain. And that's, at this point, I don't even need to beat around the bush to say that that's purposeful. It's very purposeful. It's very pertinent. Like that it's being done very targeted.
Orbiți, loviți de covizi, ne calcă ca pe omizi, ne taie ca pe molizi. Iluminati, tati, eu, elicoptere, polizi. Nu ni s-a dat ce ni s-a promis. Să reușești în junglă trebuie să fii Chuck Norris. Orașul e murdar și câți vine să vomiți. Manipulare vor suflete și vor minți. Întunericul lucrează atunci când dormiți. Hai să vedem care sunt factorii infractorii. Mass media, politica sunt actorii.
And so versus legislating and fighting and warning, what we're trying to do here is say, listen, pay attention to all that. Just don't get caught up in the doom and gloom of what that can present, because if you're spending that same amount of energy focusing on mineralizing, carbonizing, and therefore mineralizing your own soil, and then just starting with basic stuff, chickens and a couple veggies and fruits, you probably can get a lot further than you realize. And I understand that for a person who's never grown or farmed, that's a big stretch. It's a big stretch for me. I've never grown or farmed beyond just like a little hobby thing here or there. But
the way I see it, what they're going to do to them is we'll switch over to almost a completely different currency. And historically,
boomer coin.
Well, no.
And the boomers won't care that they lose it all. Is that what you're saying?
No, they're just going to die.
Anyway, yeah.
Historically, when people have switched over to a currency, it's not gradually.
Right.
It's suddenly.
Right.
And everyone left holding the bag of this old money.
So the boomers could care less. They're not passing on to help their. So is that what would be like a boomers are going to be like maybe they did brainwaves to people?
The boomers are going to be left holding fake dollars. They're going to be left with mortgages that they can't pay.
But they're not going to care.
Health insurance that they can't afford. No, they're just going to wither and die. The rest of the people aren't going to care because of the attitude that they've had towards the younger generation. And then now you're going to ask for help when everybody moves on. Dude, that's what's happening, dog.
Poate că-s prost, dar nu-s prost, gen ultimul prost, așa că las-o jos, când e jos, oricine acceptă șpagă. Într-adevăr, justiția e oarbă, a greși omenește, aia ta e greu câteodată bașca, razna de tot, vezi de treabă, chete mari, geacă bufantă vara pe stradă.
The special boy. And that's like so much of what people, that's a gross feeling that you got to resist, is that idea of being the special boy. I think that's why I'm constantly like, no, I'm retarded. It's like
this is what Ed brought up with Cain. Cain was the special boy.
Cain was the special boy, right?
That creates a murderous intention in your heart.
It is. That's the thing too. It's in the.
No, I hate this topic. I'm reading the chat. I hate this topic, dude. I'm listening to you too, but I'm like this topic because like I don't know. I'm like pretty distant.
Close to home.
Yeah, it's like just this weird thing, dude. I just don't understand, and I just don't want to be like that. I don't want to get old.
It's hard, man.
Something happens to me, and then I'm detached from my kids. Is that going to happen to me when I get old? That's like a nightmare.
Well, we talk about. Do you see it? Do you see what we just said here? What we showed you?
Yeah, I live it. I watch it.
Yeah, so then you can't be it.
But boomer is weirder for me too, because like they are all churchgoers predominantly, dude. Most of them are churchgoers. I'm saying like, how are you reading the Bible? And you're not coming to terms with eternity and thinking about the next generation and what you could actually do for the next generation that would actually matter on planet Earth. you're just thinking about what cruise you go on next and how many times you golf and how much you like your booze.
Yeah.
And how cool your house is.
Yeah.
Am trecut rapid pe lângă frați în vârstă, dar frații nu prea gustă succesul unui frate man cu mintea lor îngustă. Și rapperii de astăzi poartă fustă, întuneric total, la ochi se poartă crustă. Frate, n-ai coloană vertebrală, ești moluscă. Asta mă ofuscă, totuși n-aș răni o muscă. Am vrut să fac o piesă despre trădare, dar am făcut una despre iertare, și asta e tare.
And you're just consuming all this stuff. You're not farming. You're not growing any food. You're not helping the next generation. Other than, I guess, in their defense, they're like, oh, no, but when we golf, the people on the golf course have a job. You know, when we come to your coffee shop, you guys have a job. So they have like that kind of mindset. It's like, no, I am helping. You know, like we support the economy.
You're lubricating your created economy. But what about your created children?
I just feel like the one world order is going to figure out how to take all of their money.
Hai, tai din ele de le.
Tu consumă și nu cerceta, bagă-te la rate până mor, cu pupile dilatate privind la televizor. Eu am altele în visor, plan de vadare gândit. Deja mă simt vinovat și încă n-am făcut nimic. Chiar sunt necesare atâtea camere de luat vederi. De fiecare dată când mă văd pe stradă să-mi ia datele din buletin, să mă întrebe încotro mă duc și de unde vin. Devine sigur de ceea ce simt, ce-mi scapă. Cred că-mi pun ceva mâncare sau în apă, că mă doare capul, nu pot duce gândul până la capăt. Sunt amețit, dar revin și întreb de ce mi-ar cumpăra sufletul când pot să-mi ia direct.
I think to riff on what you just said, because it's something I've been thinking since before we got on, and I've thought this before in regards to this topic, but your documentary really added a lot of fuel to this epiphany, which is that people tend to create the life for themselves, a reality for themselves around their beliefs. And the theys out there, the elites, we want to call them that, the secret society types that are the dark ones. You know, I don't think this applies to like all Freemasonry or anything by any means, but whatever is behind the curtain, when it reveals itself through its symbolism, we are always, and what they inject into pop culture repeatedly over and over again to shape the worldview of people. With movies like The Matrix, actually, is this what I call pop culture Gnosticism. It's not real Gnosticism. It's based on fake texts like the Nag Hammadi scriptures and all that. But this belief that we live in a fallen world that's a prison planet that a fake God used to create, to capture sparks of the divine and keep them locked in these alchemical vessels to extract their energy and to basically farm our souls, right? This
it's
whole
like meso-Gnosticism.
Yeah.
Revival of dead organism, obvious clones. It was body have a motherfucking problem its own. I could write it or recite it at the top of the dome. It ain't take a lot to spot you, you a doof. It ain't take much for me to clock you as a goof. Tower of Babel is frame. Richard and Yaw gave battle in vain. Dummy.
I'm trying to get away. It's drama on the way.
Pop Gnosticism is my term for it, because I have to differentiate it from like the Marty Leeds Gnosticism, which is the real knowledge of nature and epiphanies about life, the universe, and everything that come when you ask God to teach you. You know, and you have these realizations. They're two kinds. In a way, you could say they're both valid forms of Gnosticism, because it's like whether you believe everything sucks and is trying to destroy you, paranoia, you're right. Or if you have pronoia and you have the sneaking suspicion, invisible forces are working in your favor, you got that too. Angels or demons, like which one you ride with. It's that type of deal. But why I'm bringing this up is because I think the controllers of this world and the people who are their frontmen and spokespeople, like the Ray Kurzweils and all that, are themselves the prison planet type of Gnostics that want to jailbreak consciousness, jailbreak reality in some way. But ironically, they're actually making real their very belief system physically. They're manifesting the very belief system that they hold by creating this mesoverse.
Știa cum ține minte, doar fica să ține minte, zdranțe pe fapte, dar și pe cuvinte, nu permite, dar și permite.
Yeah, and if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
Now you know, nigga.
What song is that? Whatever. Yeah. Indiana Dave says we follow Christ. That's it. Eyes on the prize. The prize is our inheritance. The prize is salvation that's through grace. Focus on Jesus Christ. But have some fun with this. This is fun. Yes. The If You Don't Know Now You Know is from the song that's in the same tweet from the White House. Exactly, Gillian. Isn't it funny? Juicy. There we go. Thank you, guys. And maybe we're a little bit further along in the theater of it all than a lot of us suspect.
And then I'm going to tell you that I told you, all right?
Afară plouă, oamenii spau topilor, fug de colo-colo. Ce să zic, YOLO, yeah. Mega imagini în loc de chioși, apă cu magneziu în loc de sifon. Mi se pare mie, sau suntem luați de proști? Na, doar că ne place să fim un pic snobi. Românie, din morții mei pasă câți au murit pentru tine. Aparent mie, născut și educat, ortodox creștin, învățat să ofer, nu să cer la schimb. Din cauza celor fuduli nu ne mai zâmbim. Duplicitar și deceptiv, dar sănătoși să fim. Fiecare trage pentru el, o știu de mic, dar dacă te văd la pământ, încerc să te ridic. Yeah, așa m-au învățat bunici. M-au mai învățat să nu mă leg de vici. Și cum s-au legat ele de mine, deși asta e doar o scuză penibilă. Las-o așa în fin. Yeah, aș scrie și un refren, dar nu îmi vine. Sunt sincer și cu mine și cu tine. Ceea ce îți recomand și ție, întrucât e posibil să suferi de șmecherie.
You think that, I believe in research too, do you think that there is something from other dimensions that can access us?
We are other dimensions. The third dimension is only one limited plane in a larger spectrum.
So you do believe what we're a part of that spectrum.
Well, let's just say we're not in Kansas anymore.
Alex, have you ever done DMT?
No.
Do you want to?
I don't need to.
The other one had a false position as well. And it was that you cannot know.
Yeah.
And it's like the Bible says, do not lean on your understanding. But there is much you can know. There is a lot you can know. There's a lot that's told to you and expressed explicitly to you.
Și-am ajuns să-mi doresc să fiu parte din minciună, că atunci pot spera că măcar e una bună. Și-am impresia că voi sunteți toți băgați, doar că nu putem să fim toți hoți bogați. Dai un chin să vezi lumea prin ochii mei și mă închind ochii lor să nu-i treze și pe ei. Că am ochii deschiși, dar am și insomnii, că odată trezit nu mai poți dormi, îți zic.
You know what kind of increased in some way? Like, obviously, I learned more, but as I learned more, and I've always been willing to admit I don't know shit, but depends on what arena.
Sure.
I don't think that I would have been willing to admit I don't know shit about conspiracy and theology and spirituality and things of that nature. I probably would have been more arrogant about that back in the day. But I would openly admit I don't know shit about politics, or I don't know shit about this or that or the other thing. Interestingly enough, the more that I've now done this show, and the more that I've understood about scripture, and the more that I've understood about God, I think that a lot of my own arrogance has died. I might appear arrogant because I'm very silly and very loud and all these different things, but I don't think that should be confused with arrogance. I'm regularly in a position of like, oh yeah, I don't know shit.
It's the end of the world as we know it, so pop the cork.
And I think back in the day, maybe I wouldn't have admitted it, but I was definitively arrogance. Like, as I'm typing that out on Facebook, like, this is just arrogance. This is just me not realizing how fucking stupid it sounds to be a baby on a social media platform, wagging my finger at various religious institutions.
I'm jihadist, I go to war with God-fearers, Elohim, roads of crucians and cross-bearers. Cause I don't listen to Christians or crucifixion waivers. I don't listen to anyone that ain't been to war. I don't listen to anyone if they ain't been poor.
Really what I'm saying is, how could anyone know who God is? How could you even know? It's like, you can fucking know. You can know a lot about God. God wants you to know.
You can try to figure it out.
And the ones that leaves you don't do anything at all.
Or you can just stand there while your life is falling apart and go, life just reflects shit back to you, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your life is falling apart, and that's evident to you, but like
you don't think those have any correlation at the time.
Yeah.
You don't think those have any correlation. It's not until I start pursuing Christ and then I watch the correlation of my walk with God and the life that I'm building.
Yeah.
It's not to say it's not hard and there's not challenges, but the life that I'm building is firmer, more realized. It's good. It's good. Like who I am as a father, who I am as a husband, who I am as somebody that is talking to people.
Not even good in the way of like, oh, all these things are really cool. It's good in like
wholesome. It's weird.
Well, in the Bible, it's like God created it and he's like, it's good.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, this looks cool. It's like, no, it works.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
A sinner can't be half saved. The Mahdi in the last days. A man could only be so rich. A hard head, warm blood, and concrete don't mix. Never.
But that's really what it is. It's like, so your choice is either flow wildly in the ether, in this mirror world, which certainly is. I mean, you could live in that world and that could be a reality for you, but you choose to live in that.
Yeah.
But within that all that weird shit going on in this crazy world, there is something and all you have to do is start looking a little bit. You look a little bit for it and you go, oh, this is very simple. This is good.
You give a motherfucker an inch, he take a yard. That just mean that I'ma have to rearrange your faith in God. I'm robbing every motherfucker, making Satan starve. Create a spell inside the gates of hell and take his job. The drums is always mad heavy and the bass is hard. How you pulling all the strings? You got a fake guitar. Wow, cowboy, punch you in your facial paw. I drink my liquor from a motherfucking mason jar.
You know what? Maybe he's right to some extent, because you talk about like God sending strong delusions. It's like if God is watching you and you're continually like, no, not that God. God's like, okay, here's your mirror dimension.
Well, God is one thing. He's the one thing there. There are other infinite possibilities around, and you can choose anything you want. That's like this. That's the free will. That's the beauty of it, and that's actually the tragedy of it. And you know, if you're dumb enough, you'll blame God for giving you those options that you choose. But that's the option. That's why I find it beautiful when people go, wow, look at all the murder and all this stuff. I was like, yeah, man, isn't it fucking fascinating?
Lumea întreagă a luat forma cuștii care e. Așa arată acum acumularea muncii cinstite. Așa arată societatea bazată pe concurență și încurajarea inițiativei personale. Toți oamenii ăștia care lucrează în mod onorabil doar la consolidarea excluderii lor.
You thought my father's tax is too high. Mine will crush you. How dare you speak out against your lawful king? My father chastised you with whips. I shall use scorpions. I am your king.
Stand on top of the mountain, I was a born rapper. The house of the Holy Spirit, another long chapter. Untouched glory of God, a strong factor. The 9 lords will bow together from storms after. The Smith & Wesson rubber grip make my palm blacker. You not an MC, pussy, you a reformed actor. Your whole fam is fucked up in Al-Anon matter. The chemical wedding of Christ where the gods gather. The weapon of the dead gods was a thorn dagger. Every verse, every surah in the Quran has another scripture, another picture was drawn blacker. Arabaz, Kurdish legacy, the storm catcher. The fucking MC you don't wanna perform after. The 7th son of the 7th son of his long passer. Mercy prevail over wrath from a warm ladder. 16 bars similar to God's rapture.
Tell you what, man, like I said, going back to what I said earlier, if there's even the slimmest chance in your mind as a new ager or whatever that God sent his only son to die for you because that was the way to save your fucking life, like, you need to be slamming on the brakes and being like, that's such a profound idea that it at least deserves my unbiased critical attention.
This is where we come to with like the convergence of the show being, well, like comedy conspiracy. And then on the other hand, we have straight Bible, which I think the Bible is a great solution. But as I keep looking over, I'm like, you're still not, like, I understand, like, this is the solution, but you're not seeing this issue here. The solution to what if there's no problem?
Repeat it after me, bitch.
Lasă lumea să vorbească fiindcă salt om. Am scris 13 scrisori ca Platon, ipso facto. M-am schimbat și m-a determinat să rescrie scrisoarea numărul 4. Yeah.
And I said, I want nothing to do with affiliate links, product peddlers, products. No. And the Telegram is locked and closed because we're busy. So you guys are going to have to come up with better grifts. You really are. Because people are going to want to know, why do I have to buy anything? You don't. Why do I have to watch endless videos? You don't. Do not. All you got to do is download the PDF for free and go. Bye. Just look up the terminology on the YouTube, like whatever it is you want to watch a video on, and you can find it. It's free. You don't need me. You need you. Keep your money, too.
Yeah.